Hey guys, sorry it took me a second. I've been like trying to prep. It is surprisingly hard to set up a couple of things I wanted to set up. How's everyone doing though? Good day? It's not that, you need to calm down. Y'all need to calm down a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. It's a small event run by an idiot. But thank you for showing up. I appreciate all of you. Glad it's a good day. Glad it's a good day. Oh, Thomas, who's excited me? How could you be excited? That's so rude and mean. Without me? Damn. Why are you awake? It's late. Don't be cringe. Okay. That's me getting my use out of the Lalin Schlatt crossing album. Hi, guys. Today's going to be really simple. It's going to be a really easy stream. It's going to be probably 2 hours, because probably 2 hours. The first hour, we're going to talk about contest, Comic Jam stuff. The other hour, we're going to spend being weird, okay, and being ourselves. So if you want to talk about news stuff, the last hour. Tell me all the weird news stuff that you know in the last hour. If you want to tell me something that you heard that happened, we'll do that in the last hour. Also, whoever said 2 hours is crazy work, every stream is like 2 to 4 hours. One of our longest streams is like 9 hours, and it was just me reading comics. Dying. It's okay, Torticle, you're good. You didn't do anything wrong. Good to see so many new people, by the way. I know a lot of you came for the Comic Jam stuff. I hope you stay after the stream is done. You know, that's kind of it. I tried to make special graphics, but I didn't get time for that. I mostly spent my time calculating and doing a bunch of annoying work. So we're going to kind of go with typical visuals, but, you know, we have everything together. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. And if we're not fine, you know, worst case scenario, the world explodes. Like, it doesn't really matter. Yes, Kim? Oh, you've been on the wall since last year. Kill. Oh yeah. If you guys are looking at the wall on the stream, like my insane wall, there's lots of references to my friends and the people I love and the video games that matter to me, and all of them are on the thing. Let's get to 30. I don't think we're ever getting to 30 YouTube viewers. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let me actually start us off. Let me start us off properly. Something is up with my like screen viewer thing. Keeps breaking. Oh, we did hit 30. Shit. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's me, your dad. I'm Nen. If you don't know me, I'm Nen from Webcomics Hub. I stream regularly. I do a bunch of other I you're all new, I see a lot of new faces. My name's Nen. I do a lot of gaming. I say gaming, that's a lie. Webcomic news and a bunch of other stuff. But this year we ran the event that I ran last year, again this year. Oh my God, don't call me dad. It was a joke. Do not write hola papi in the chat. It was a joke. God, this is like the guy who called me hubby last stream. Like, you guys just say whatever the fuck you want. Why? Okay. You know what? Maybe I should just... Anyway, Webcomics Hub runs an event every year. But when I say Webcomics Hub, I mean me. I run an event every year. I say every year. We started this last year called the Words and Pictures Comic Jam. It's just a comic jam. If you don't know what that is, because maybe your friend dragged you here because they just wanted you to see what's going on, that the thing that they get mentioned in or they won. A comic jam is like a game jam. You just get a limited amount of time and a theme and you make something. And last year when we did this, we had 40 people total enter, which was fucking insane last year. Like, I lost my mind when I saw that many people join. And this year, for some godforsaken reason, we had over 120 people joined. Which is nuts. And I had to read all the entries. And if you want to watch the streams where I read every single entry, you can. But I don't really do criticism. But today, I want to talk to you guys about the entries, the people who won, and the people who really stood out, even if they didn't win. They stood out to either myself or to Linda. Did I just out that? Whatever. Myself or the other person who helped me judge. That was a complete slip. Another person who helped me judge. Yeah, I know, right? Who helped me judge? I know I'm leaking everything. I was never supposed to leak that. I hope I get forgiven. It doesn't matter. Who helped me judge? Who did all the work? This is a lot of work, and so I do want to appreciate that, like, they did do that work, but I didn't mean to say their name like that. And let's just talk about how we judged. So the way the judging worked this year was pretty simple. I judged all of the comics, okay? All 120 comics I judged personally. I went through each one of you, and you were all scored on different categories of stuff. You were scored on themes, you were scored on writing, you were scored on art, and you were scored on your paneling and lettering. There is also a section for audience judging. Previous to this, audience judging was 1/5 of the total judging score. I just want everyone to know, to be upfront and like not lie to you, that was changed. Audience judging became 1/25 of your total score, okay? 1/25 of the total score is actually audience judging. It was changed for a few reasons. One, something bad happened, but we fixed it, but something bad happened. Two, and more importantly, we just felt like it wasn't representative. We wanted it to be a mild edge that you could get that could help you. And at 1/5, it was doing a lot more damage than we thought it was supposed to do. So we did reduce that, and just so everyone is aware. So if you were like, I didn't win because somebody got like more votes than me, I hate to say this, you're wrong. The comic with the most votes didn't win. The comic with the most votes is what we're going to start talking in a second, but that didn't win. So, just so you keep that in your minds. Anyway, cool. Thank you to everybody who's like telling me thanks. I got an email. If you guys check your emails, there's an email from me that there have been emails throughout the event. I just want to add one thing before we go on, and I think it's important to say these kind of clarifications up front. To the creators and everyone who joined the event as creators, none of your emails are going to be deleted from our email server. We are, however, going to store that securely, like offline, so no one can access it. To the people who got their friends to make accounts to join, to vote for them, or just made the accounts to vote, only because they found this, all of your emails are going to get deleted. So this is like another thing to just say. I'm saying this here and now because I think transparency is important. All of your emails, if you just made an account to vote and you didn't submit a single comic, your email is gone by like Thursday next week at the latest. Your email will be gone. I won't even know who you are anymore. And like, you won't be emailed again by me. So if you want to, you'd have to come back next year. I want that to be upfront because I think the number one place where people lose their data is events like this, and I don't want to be a statistic. Okay, yeah. Anyway. So now that all the disclosure out of the way, let's talk about the comics. As I said, we got 120 entries this year. 120 is a lot of comics to read, and there's a lot of pain. And I think it's important for me to acknowledge that like so many of you put out your A game. It was like amazing work all the way through. So like, get over it. Be impatient. It was amazing work all the way through. Like basically everybody was making something that I don't think they would have made otherwise. And we even got entries from people that I genuinely respected. Like one of the entries is from a guy who I see his art on Reddit a lot. And yeah, I'm a Redditor. Soon. Sue me. And a lot of you emailed me and texted me during the event telling me that like, you didn't have time. You would never have made something like this if it wasn't for this event. And so I want to start out by congratulating that. But let's be a little bit greedy about this. You're going to ask me, hey, Nan, which one got the most votes? Which one should we be looking at as the one that got the most votes and like caring about? Well, I'm just getting my there. Cool. I have to like find each of my. I opened like a dozen tabs just to do this. Well, why don't we read that together? Together, you and I are going to read the comic that got the most votes, even with all of the other problems I had on the website. The number one voted comic was Life Cycle of a Corpse Bubble. This one came out with about, I think, 60 to 70 votes. We've done a lot of vote correcting because we were dealing with a bot issue, so the votes may not look correct. But as of the time when votes were pulled for the event, they had 60 to 70 votes total, which was number one. This is made by Osteria, and I just want to leave some comments that I actually wrote down about Osteria's comic. If you didn't see it, it's this one. It's a pretty neat concept about the idea of a bubble being like this giver, being the holding spirits and being this giver of life to save people. It's a really cool concept. And in my notes, I wrote, "Wow, this makes me feel really scared." Oh, baby, no, die. I want to be clear. The notes I write when I'm judging stuff are insane. But I really praised the colors in this. I really praised the very tight paneling. Working with this many panels per page is hard. It's incredibly hard because it requires you to really balance everything to visually get across a lot of information without making anything too muddy. And I really appreciated the fact that not only did they stack the panels in, they tried to give them different shapes and give them a different look to kind of keep our eyes going down the page and never feeling that exhaustion, that comes with reading a comic with too many panels. If you've read a DC comic in the last 10 years, you know what it's like when you're in a comic with way too many panels that doesn't respect you. And this isn't that. And I really appreciated that. There's a lot of other points I want to make, but I'm going to be very upfront. There will be no negative criticism in today. All positive stuff, okay? Unless I'm calling out Marvel or DC, that's different. They're fair game. I think what's also really good to see is an embracement of page format. Most of you are webcomic creators, which was, almost all of you are webcomic creators, and yet very few of you made vertical scrolling comics. I don't know what that was about. Did anybody just want to use page for fun? Was that the purpose? I assume so, right? But basically every entry, apart from about 6, were page formatted comics. And, it was a very interesting, I can't count to 24. I mean, fair enough. You did say, I said 3 pages, or I said this many panels. I'm going to level with you. Technically, the number of panels was a little bit too much. Just slightly too much, and it gave the panel people an edge. And they still didn't win. Top 3, none of them are panel comics. None of them are vertical scroll. What's happening? Everyone noticing their comics on the screen. Anyway, and so, I wanted to mention that almost everyone used page format. But I also want to talk about the scroll comic that really hit me the most. And it's the one that really sat in my heart the longest because it caused me a lot of pain in the good way. And that's Monsters for Hire by Paris on the chat. Why am I trying to write an official name? This one really sat on me because it was really good. Paris, do you want to know the reason why you didn't get as high as I think you should have gotten? Your theme usage was low, love. Even though you did so much good work, you didn't embed the theme deep into your comic. That was it. And you did an amazing job, even with the unnecessarily sexy Birdman that everybody commented on. Guys, I need to be real with you. I don't really like that he's hot. This is my Squidward moment. It was really good. My mom actually read this one of all the comics. This is the one that she read because all of them are, you guys draw some scary shit. Some of you drew some stuff that was very scary and very dark for no reason. And my mom was like, no, but she liked this one. She liked it up until the part that she realized that there was some kind of magic going on. She doesn't like that stuff. But she did like this. it says a lot, right? Like last year's theme was Halloween, and everybody was writing about how like Halloween's fun and awesome, and there's no death at all. And then this year's theme is bubbles, the most joyous, most happy thing you could write about. And everyone wrote about dying. I don't know what that says about the artistic mindset, but you know, it's what it is. Question magic, but not the Birdman. I know, right? I want to say, when we were reading this on the streams, when we were reading this, the standout panel from this comic is right around here. Right around here. This is the standout panel of this comic. I don't understand. I don't understand. But everyone was going crazy over this one when we were reading it. What is wrong with you people? Yeah, you said it was the one, Lexi. You disgust me. I'm not in denial. You're in denial. Denial is a river in Egypt. A wuga, if you will. Okay, wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. I need to get. Y'all don't have shame no more. You know, I look away for a few minutes. Some of you have decided to change your ways. I'm gonna get the pin of shame there. Like, what do you mean? What is happening today? Y'all are crazy. Something's happening in the zeitgeist. But yeah, no. Today. But yeah, no, this was like the biggest standout comic by Paris. I loved your paneling. I loved the great work that you put into it. I loved your colors. God, I loved the colors of this. It was phenomenal work. In Paris, like, you know, I will say this, and I said this to everybody who made something good, and if you look at your emails, I've sent in an email, you definitely should never quit making comics. Like, I'm being so serious. I'm saying this just to you, Paris. You need to, like, keep making shit, because I think the world would be a sadder place if you didn't. Legitimately. Anyway, so, you know, that was our standout vertical scrolling comic, and like it really hit. It was those are the two big ones that won just on numbers. But I figure, you know, those are the one just on pure numbers and on just the vibes overall. But I think we should like talk about the top 20 comics. So when everything came down, out of the 120 comics, we had a top 20 set. Like, I think it'd be cool to show you guys everything that didn't make it to first 4, because I think that would be a fun little thing, and also give those people a little bit of recognition that they deserve. And so, like, I'm not gonna tell you what position. I'm just gonna show you them. Where is that one? Wait, great. I thought I was going crazy. One of the comics that came in the top 20 was Pop. I believe it's this one. Let me check. A lot of you named your comics the same thing. Wrong one. It's the wrong one. A lot of you named your comics the same goddamn thing. Why do you do this to me? Anyway, this one, Pop by Demon Deo. One, guys, it's crazy to open a comic on your platform, because this is mine, and read the words, "Please, for aid in the US, contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline." Insane. Insane statement to read. But this was a wonderful little fun story about a man reflecting on the fact that he kind of sucks. Like most of this comic is just, wow, bro, you suck. I think for both myself and my co-judge, one of the things that we both really liked was the limited color palette. I love me a limited color palette. And you know what's even funny? This is my weakness. Limited color palette's usually the way to win me over. And this one really held me over an edge by the neck. Horrible timing. But it held me over the edge by the neck. And, you know, the kind of dark story, this was the first dark story I read in the contest. It came in pretty early, because I think this is 100 entry number, like, 50 or 60. And it was just a very dark topical point. It really brought the bubbles together as this man slowly kind of descends into himself and like unbursts every internal bubble that blocked away the fact that he kind of sucked. And the way it ends with his wife leaving him, as she should. Go girl, let's go. We don't stay with shitty people. Was fun. Was fun all around. And when I finished reading this, I'm not kidding, I just sat down and I was like, damn. Damn. I don't really know what to do anymore. It is your pop, boy. So like, this is Demon Dio's pop, not your pop. But no, like, yeah, no, this was incredibly fun. I know that this was done by Demon Dio and Azuli Haven. I'm saying your name is probably so fucking wrong. I'm not sorry. Make them easier to spell next time. No, that's the most English thing I've ever said. Oh, you are Azuli Haven. Oh yeah. Why is everyone's names different on all the platforms? Guys, branding. Unify your branding so that I can see you in chat and know it's you. Anyway, by Azuli Haven and Demon Dio and their editor, Ariyoshi. Wonderful, wonderful comics. Wonderful, wonderful work that you guys have put in, and like, you know, all round excellent. All round excellent. You can really see the hand of like a competent editor in this, and I think that's really cool. Another one in the top 20 was Powers Combined. Also, if you're wondering, is Nen stalling so they don't just announce the top 3? Yes. You can't stop me. Anyway, another one in the top 20 was Powers Combined by Pearl Seaman. Pearl is a friend, which often makes me a worse person to people who are my friends, because I expect more from them. And I was actually very strict with the judging on this. But my co-judge was very nice to it, unlike me. See, man, please be nice to Pearl Waters. Unlike me, who was very mean to this. Like when I look at the rating that we both gave it, my rating is substantially lower because I always expect more of my friends because I'm a terrible friend. But my co-judge loved it, and that kind of brought it up where it came up, where it ended up. But all jokes aside, we do love it. We do love the fact that it took the concept of bubbles away from this nebulous thing and try to talk about like the social bubbles that we create and the individuals that we fill them with. I think that was really cute. I think it's fun to exist I think it's fun to get a concept and try and relate that to your personal life, to the things that make you happy. I think a lot of creators often do that, but in this comic jam, I keep saying contest, but in this comic jam, the person who did it the best and who did it the most was Pearl, and I absolutely loved what came out of this. I will say, Pearl, I do appreciate that you drew yourself loving Dungeon Meshi, but I'm here to tell you a very sad story. It's kind of mid. Why am I saying that, you might ask? Why am I saying Dungeon Meshi is kind of mid? To start fights. That's why I'm saying that. Fighting my chat is the only way I can continue to make content on this channel. Bro. Really? That's the thing you guys get mad at me for? You lost daddy status. No, shut the fuck up. I started reading Dungeon Meshi before all of you. I know how good it is, but none of you were there when I was fighting in the ground, when I was fighting for my life. None of you were there when nobody was fucking translating the comic properly. Get out of here. You don't know my struggles. Anyway. I almost missed one. This came up. This is also in the top 20. Adios, puppy. I'm a Witch Hat Atelier person as well. Witch Hat Atelier is like, I mean, I'm going to say it, to be very honest. Witch Hat Atelier is one of my favorite manga because of Black representation. We love to see well-drawn Black women. As I said in one of the last pieces of art that we reviewed on this channel when we were doing one of our tier lists, we love an unproblematic Black queen. We just do. We just do. Another one of the comics in the top 20 is A Dream Within a Dream. This one was actually quite fun when I first saw it. It's one of those things that took me to a place where I felt like I was back back in art school. If you didn't know this, I went to art school as a teenager. I went to photography school as a teenager, and I spent a lot of time around very, very artsy people. Um, and so this comic really brought me back to that. The like surrealist tones, the imagery that's more meant to evoke meaning than it is to tell a story, but still somehow managed to pull me down to understand, pull a story together, keeping me understanding and flowing through. It was fun. I loved the colors. I'm colorblind, so vibrant colors can often be a distraction for me, even though I've gotten pretty good at judging them on an objective-ish level, as objective as you can get, I guess. But this was so beautiful. How do people keep doing this? I don't fucking know, Tortical. I don't know what drugs everyone is smoking. They keep doing this. They keep putting the colors on the page and they look good. Hate to see it. We hate to see them thrive, quite honestly. Like, we hate to see them perform good work. Imagine being a good artist. Couldn't be me. Cringe. They're very soothing and have very good contrast. Yeah. Yeah. Color theorists out in these streets, bro. Unnecessary. They could just be like the rest of us, bad at coloring, bad at color theory, but nah. They gots to be extra. No, like this was lovely though. I loved the kind of, okay, I want to say something really quick about lettering. I think this is a good comment to talk about it. One of the things that was very important to me when I was doing the paneling and lettering judging was lettering being not like fantastical. It doesn't have to be perfect. Your text setting doesn't have to be god tier, but it needs to be consistent and clean and easy to read. And one of the things that was great about this is that it was that the whole way through. Some people tried to be very artsy about it, and sometimes it lost me because I'm like, I'm here. This looks beautiful. I can't read the text. But like this was pure, clean, good work. And I absolutely loved it. It was beautiful. And I think everyone should go read this at the end of the stream. You can go read all these. I'm gonna actually list every single one of these comics. All these comics and their links are gonna be in the description of the YouTube video. And also on Twitter, I'll probably put like all the names and you can go look them up. Yeah, that's what I was gonna go. So yeah, no, great job, Lefty Girl. Like I appreciate you and all the hard work that you put forward. Also, hey, Senpai Slytherin. Let's go more top 20. We got Cold Fate. We loved this because it was needlessly dark. Mild body horror warning for anybody who's allergic to seeing people's body look gross. But again, limited color palette. This motherfucker is dying. Where I heard Cold Feet. Cold Fate, it's unordered. Essen, for your question, it is unordered. Yeah, this is an intense comic. I love that a lot of people took the bubble concept to space because, where is an environment where humans are in bubbles more than space? And, we're always in pods and in ships and in space stations, little bubbles of safety. And like this took that concept and was like, yeah, we're in a bubble. Whoever wrote Among Us in chat, I swear to God, I swear to God. Anyway, they took this lovely concept of having to find our safety in space and what would happen when that safety is breached, and brought that together into this bubble story. The ending is fantastic because I'm 100% sure this guy is going to kill everyone. He just took the disease into the plane. Why, bro? Needless behavior. But no, I really appreciated just all of the beautiful hard work. They killed him in electrical. Guys, stop saying sus in chat. If anybody makes another Among Us reference, I'm going to start saying Gen Z, Gen Alpha slang. You guys don't want that. I'll start it. I'll do it again. I've done it once before, and I've killed people with this. It's not beyond me. My skibbity Riz. Uh, why are you just writing in the chat? Stop saying that I have no power here. Oh my god. Say on skibbity right now. Tate's gonna die. Every time I think about how much of a Sigma I am, I continue to mog on my haters. This live stream is okay. No, pin of shame. Pin of shame. I'm not letting that one go. What do you mean, skibbity as fuck? Stupid bastard. I hate you. Oh my god, fuck. Okay, guys, what is wrong with you today? New people are here. Chat, I need you to behave yourselves so the new people don't think that we're weird. Well, the live stay up on the channel? Yeah, Michael, the lives always stay up on the channel. If you check the live section on the YouTube channel, you can see every live we've ever done, and watch them whenever you want. Have fun with that. First time. Guys, the new people. Make them, I'm the new people, and this is skibbity. Okay, you know what? I tried being a content creator, The weird stuff was for the second half, but nobody listens to me. But yeah, absolutely loved. What was that called? You guys are the worst. You made me forget everything I was saying. Absolutely loved Cold Fate. Wonderful story, wonderful art, wonderful concept. And as we continue to go through, I think Cold Fate really, to me, Cold Fate kind of set a bar, right? Everything I read kind of after Cold Fate and before was kind of judged on what Cold Fate did. I absolutely, because I was reading it, imagine being 56-year-old and trying to understand this chat. Yeah, imagine this chat would kill a Victorian child. But yeah, everything I read pretty much after and before was judged by Cold Fate being kind of like a standard. It was really solid lettering, really solid writing, really solid theme use. It was just very solid. In a way that nothing really came, it was the yardstick. It became the yardstick. And I moved on. Another one is exploration. Don't call this an Among Us comic. Tides worked very hard on this comic. Respect them. Don't call it an Among Us comic. But it's about an astronaut being lost in space. And this is more space theming and more space imagery. And this is about an astronaut dying in, more or less dying in space. And then being rescued by the person that they love in a spaceship. And I think it's lovely because of the theme, the way it's kind of the way it's kind of what's the word for when something is the imagery means something, can be used to mean something else. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for how the people you love really pull you out of the despair that you feel. It's a depression metaphor. It's a romance story. All that fit into 3 pages. And also, lots of bubbles. I'm going to level with you, Tide. You didn't need to use any bubbles in this. The space theming was a ton of bubbles already. But I appreciate that you did. They look absolutely wonderful. One of the best renderings of bubbles I saw. Just the literal drawing of a bubble I saw in this whole thing. And it was amazing. Moving on from that, we got soap bubbles, which, God, where is it? Did I just misspell the word soap? I did misspell the word soap. Okay, I'm not. Something's wrong. Something's wrong, and I don't know what it is, but I'll figure it out tomorrow. It's locked up. Stop, guys! Stop with the Among Us references. I swear to God. Anyway, next up was soap bubbles. This one was so vibrant. Tortical, where are you? We need to start hating on people more. You and I need to start hating on people more. Where did they get off? Where did they get off doing this? Who allowed them to color like this? Oh God. What, why are they allowed to act in such a way as to produce such quality work? Because it's unacceptable, frankly. Soap bubbles was beautiful. Beautiful. Because again, guys, tons of bubbles, tons of wonderful imagery. And on top of that, it's my usual, Nixie, get out of here. You're not allowed to come out here and be like, oh, I woke up like this. I hate to see it. I'm not that good. Why can't I be that good? But no, tons of beautiful bubbles, has a beautiful imagery. Social bubbles. What you call it? The concept of class division in a bubble form. There's a particle brush in CSV. Don't tell us the secrets, Nixie. You're gonna spoil the fun. We need to keep thinking that you basically did fucking witchcraft. Because if we keep thinking you did witchcraft, we'll never think that we can do it, and that makes us feel okay about ourselves. If we know exactly how to do it, then suddenly, maybe. No, yeah, do tell them. They do want to know. The winner is not announced yet. We're going through a bunch of ones. Gatekeeping is good. Gatekeep, gaslight, girl boss. That's what my mother taught me. No, she didn't. But no, lovely work. I want to say it's been a very diverse contest. While I'm here and I'm talking about it, very diverse contest. It was good to see that not everybody was, because everybody had a lot less space to work over, a lot more time. It was good to see different faces, different body types, different styles of characters. So I was very happy to see that, you know. And I really, of course, I like discussions of class. If you know me, you know that I love discussions of class. It was very fun to read this. Seeing a comic that, like, you know, put its time into a beautiful bubble imagery, beautiful discussion on friendship, but also talking about the fact that, you know, the rich will never understand us because your boss makes $50 for every dollar you make, and frankly, I think that means we should put him in a guillotine. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a bit. That's a bit. I want that to be clear. That's a bit. Okay. Beautiful, gorgeous work. And we really appreciate that. Another one in the top 20, after this one, we're going to take a short break to talk about something else. But another one in the top 20 was one of my favorites. This was 2008 by Ren Chu. Ren, friend of the channel, you know, sent me a book. Did that bribery kind of convince me to give a better judgment? Perhaps. I'm joking. No, it was a great comic because it talked about the 2008 housing market crash. Why did I like that? Very simple. When I first sent out the email, I talked about how bubbles can talk about anything from the economic to the social to the very object. And Ren decided to talk about a very impactful moment in her life. You know, the recession and how that hit her and her family personally. How an economic bubble literally changed the social and material things that they had and took them away from the world that they lived in, from the bubble they lived within, into a new one, you know, into one that they were basically kind of thrown into, but managed to make work really well. And I absolutely love this. So many details, such gorgeous imagery. Guys, it says piss in it. The winners are already published on the website. We all know that. That's Messina. No, you know, it's got everything. We love to see it. The details. I also like to see the fact that I think there's an art style that comes with drawing on the internet. It's, you know, rough concept. But because we create stuff on the internet, we pick up lots of different styles of drawing from lots of different places. And I think we all kind of unify around a central point because that's the thing that often makes us money and often attracts an audience. But I was super happy to see, can we have a short 2D animation? Hey, look, if I make wait, what? No. Wait, 2D animation for what? I want to understand what you're talking about. I'm just trying to read chat. Chat's always gonna like make me lose my mind. Anyway, as I was saying about the art style, everyone's got interesting. Yeah, no, that's not happening. I don't even know if I could do that. Look, okay, fine. Short 2D animation contest. I mean, look, if I get money, sure. Like, look, okay, let me be legit with you guys. If I made more money, I would do more things. I don't make more money. If you want me to do more things, give me money on patreon.com/webcomics hub or like on our Ko-fi or like on anything else. And if you can do that and you can make me enough money, I'll run whatever events you want. I'm not even joking. I'll run any events you want. I'll make any event possible. You will have events up the wazoo for like a year. I promise you. I can do it. I've got competent people. I'll support from afar. Anyway, more importantly, as I was talking about the art styles, I think on the internet we kind of gravitate around like a bunch of central art styles that we all are attracted to because they usually allow us to make money, usually allow us to attract an audience, all on the internet because that's the thing that the internet wants. But but I really appreciated seeing that Ren maintains this art style that seems very different. You know, it separated itself from what I would consider contemporary American art, from what I would consider contemporary internet art. You know, it's got characters that are drawn a little bit closer to children's book art, which is awesome to see in a comic that isn't made by a children's book writer. And I really love children's book art. I'm not even kidding, because like one of the, well, I was talking to somebody about this recently, and I was talking about how I love Daft Pilkey's art, the guy who makes Dogman, and this gives me a lot of that feeling of like, it just brings me to that very same style. That it's very earnest. It's very emotionally simple to understand. Like you can just see it and you know what's going on. The characters are all very simply detailed, but very expressive. I love that style. I love styles like that. Another thing to talk about is, we can go to a different comic because I've been on this one a little bit longer than I want to. We can talk about the most important bubble, Dogman is Peak, the movie that's coming out. Crazy. I'll probably watch it. We can talk about the most important bubble in the universe by Viento Kamikaze. That's a name. Suddenly, Alphonse is unable to articulate the most important bubble in the universe. This was like, oh God, I remember I said something about this during the stream when I was reading it. But this gave me feelings of somewhere between like an Adventure Time episode and the crippling self-doubt, not the crippling self-doubt, the like relaxed but kind of stressful environment of like laying under the stars alone. It had like this beautiful concept because the concept is very simple. It was a character lands on a planet, he gets a call, the planet literally sucks the words that you're about to say out of your mouth, meaning you can't make word bubbles, meaning you can't speak. That's what happens. Like the planet eats word bubbles, so you can't speak. And so he's just trapped there, unable to express himself. Unable to tell people what's going on, realizing that because he can't tell them his location, he's going to be abandoned. Absolutely devastating. Devastating. Yeah, I know. It's genius. Also, calling him Alphonse was like this is another Alphonse screwed over by life, guys. We can't keep living like this. They got my first bro in a suit of armor. They got this guy dying on a desolate planet. Like, it's too much. Alphonse. This one took a few tries to understand, but boy does it hit hard. Oh, it hits hard. It's very hard. No, like this is the thing. Like so many of you, and the top 20 is full of so many people trying to be incredibly imaginative with their work, and also producing great art, and also having great scenes in their work. And god damn, y'all need to like teach a class or something. Okay. Actually, before I go on to the next one of the top 20, I want to talk about something that was resonating with me, but isn't in the top 20, but it resonated with me specifically very hard. God, if I can find it. Here. Okay. By Kyle Steele. This one was called Finding the Words. This is not in the top 20. This is just one comic that really hit me personally. And it came to me again because the most important bubble in the universe reminded me of the playing with bubbles thing. And And this one really hit me because Kyle is telling this interesting story about a character who gets a phone number from a girl in a bar, forgets it, realizes that he's like, but also knows he's in a comic, looks up to see it, realizes that the waiter is blocking the bubble. So this view, the waiter's tray is blocking the bubble with her phone number, jumps out of the panel by creating a big word bubble that he can use to float out, and basically tries to fight his way back to the earlier panel to read her number. I loved this scene with panels with bubbles from comics I've read, and I absolutely adored the way the story was told. Even with the fact that the ending, the character realizes that he left his jacket on page 1, even though he has a number, he doesn't have his phone. It's very funny. I just wanted to really mention this because I just want Kyle to know, if he ever sees this, you did a great fucking job, man. Like, this is so imaginative. This is so smart. I would never have thought about it. Okay, cool. Let's talk about another one of our top 20, Bubbling Over. Bubbling Over is by one of my favorite artists ever. I don't know if they know this. They probably do. But this is by Rosie is Artistic. I'm a big fan of Rosie's work. Rosie's been making art for a while, but Rosie's been making comics that I have seen for about 2 years. Just about 2 years, because last year and this year. And they're also 18. Fuck. Sometimes when the young people show how hard they work and show the quality of their work, it makes me question how I got to where I got to. How I got to where I got to, and I don't fully, I'm not as good as them. It genuinely gets me. Rosie's work is basically like a lesbian romance, I believe. It's like a lesbian romance, I believe, where this lady with the square hair negs the McDonald's worker into going on a date with them. Good for them, to be honest. Oh, you're right. There is no specific gender. Okay, good to know, Rosie. Thank you for letting us know. This is a person-loving person comic, not a woman-loving woman comic, like I thought. But it's super cute, and we absolutely loved. And I think this is for both me and the other judge. We absolutely loved the colors, the visual style. We loved the scenes. I loved the way you constructed scenes. When you constructed this scene construct was great. Almost every scene was absolutely well thought out, well organized. I love the way you kind of set up scene to scene transitions to make sure that nothing was losing pace. I love the way you kept your paneling really tight when you needed to. Panels like basically rolling right on top of other panels to signify a lack of passage of time as things happened moment to moment to moment. It was a strong understanding. It was a strong understanding of how to make a comic. Everyone here is really good at it, but it's one thing to be good at making it. It's another thing to be not just good, but thoughtful about how you make your comic. Last year, when you entered the contest, you entered it with a friend. I don't know if you did this time. I think you did this solo, and I think you did a fantastic job getting this done. So great job being in the top 20. Yeah. No, don't get me started, Tortical. They be out here coloring things. I don't know who let them. They be out here coloring things. Disgusting. Acting better than me. Because they are. Your proofreaders really came in clutch. Great job. If you want me to give you some criticism on it, I'm super happy to. I know you like getting info on that. But yeah. I don't know if I did already, though. I might have. I don't know how many. I'm not tracking that. Anyway, another one in the top 20. Beyond the Sea by a person who I thought was a really big fan of mine, but they're not, because their name isn't Love You Nen, it's Lovinen, or Luvinen, probably Luvinen. I'm going to keep making that joke, because I'm still very depressed about it. I thought for a moment I had a massive fan. I thought for a moment people were shouting my names in the streets. They are not. Um, Luvu, answer my question. What was this? How do I say your name? You're in chat, Luvu. How do I say your name? Tell me. Is it Luvu? Is it Luvunen? Is it Lovunen? Is it Lovenin? Is it Levener? Is it like something completely different? Because there can only be one Nen in this chat. I hate to say it, King, Queen, Your Majesty. Listen, you put a whole you put your whole name in there. You can't just tell me it's just Luvu. You put your full first name, full name. Okay, it's one thing if I said my name is Nenether. I'd be like, I bet. Call me Nenether. That's what you did. Anything is fine. The Nen is silent. All right, cool, whatever. This is like terrible Django when Django's like the D is silent. Anyway, Luvu, great fucking job. You got in the top 20. I think if you were in the top 20, by the way, you got an email from me. Everyone in the top 20 got an email from me congratulating them on being in the top 20. So you probably already know this. But yeah, Luvu, great job being in the top 20. Love Beyond the Sea. I'm gonna level with you. Your main character is so adorable, and the story is way too dark. Like I remember seeing him going, "Wow, she's really cute. That's lovely. Let's see what story this is gonna be about. It's probably gonna be real cute and lovely, just a little bit dark." And I open it, and then she fucking dies. She absolutely dies. Insane. And we love to see it. We love to see it. I was like, oh, cute anime girl. It must be a cute little story. It must be a cute little story, but like, no. I think everyone should go read this. And I'm going to take a quick little break. I'm going to take a quick little break from talking about Top 20 to talk about two things that I have to do. One, I really need to thank Clip Studio and XP Pen. Guys, if you want to get yourself really good equipment, they didn't tell me to say this. I'm just saying it because I do believe this. Pick up an XP Pen tablet. I have one. They're pretty good. I have a Wacom too. But if you can get a good modern XP Pen tablet, it can be a great value for the product that you're going to be getting. And also, I like CSP. I work in CSP. The two softwares I use right now for photography and stuff are CSP and Affinity Designer. I don't use Photoshop anymore. I've never been using Photoshop, but I've stopped using Photoshop in the last couple of weeks. CSP is really good. And so I just wanted to say that because they supported the event. They provided the prizes. CSP provided the keys for the top winners. All top 4 got CSP. CSP provided XP Pen provided the tablets for the top 3, who all are getting tablets mailed to them. And I just want to really thank those two groups. XP Pen UK really came in clutch. The one time I'm proud to be from this country. The one time I'm so proud to be from this country. I also really want to thank the community, like the Webcomics Hub community, without which we wouldn't have been able to afford the prize money. When I said the thing earlier about without money, I can't do events like this, it's for that reason. It's not to pay me. It's just without the communities, the Patreon, without the people supporting, without the people donating, we wouldn't have enough money for this. We just wouldn't. And so, I just want to make sure that's absolutely clear that all of this is achievable because this community is so valuable to me and so loving and so caring for the things that I'm doing that they're willing to support me monetarily. If you can't do that, that's totally okay. Likes, shares, and subscribes go way further than you can imagine. Trust me. When people like, share, and subscribe, and especially when they like and share my videos, it really brings so much value to me. Also, people who use Krita are insane. Everybody who uses Krita, what is going on? Are you well? I can't imagine using Krita. It looks terrifying. It looks legitimately terrifying. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not even trying to be a hater. I opened it and it stabbed me in the arm. Krita is nuts. Like I saw Krita in a dark alley, and it told me to shh as I walked past. Guys, you don't understand. I use a few. I lose a few. What the hell, Pierce? I lose a few brain cells when I'm using Krita, but it's all skibbity. Pierce, what's happening, King? What's happening? Explain yourself if you don't mind. Like, I just want to know. Yes, stay okay. Guys, we can't keep doing this. Also, I also want to talk about one other thing. This is a really small intermission just to bring this all up as well. A lot of people I've seen have had different feelings to not winning or not being in the top 20. And not just in chat today. I've seen this before. I saw this over the last week. People going, oh, I didn't win and that sucks. Like, I want to be clear, and I mean this genuinely. The most valuable thing you can do in a comic jam, in any kind of jam, is submit. Because I swear to God, you are one of the only people that made it to submitting. Okay, I'm going to give something I didn't want to talk about earlier, but I'll talk about it. About 300 accounts seem to have been ready to upload stuff to the website. About 300 accounts. Only 120 accounts submitted something. Okay? Out of the 1,000 plus accounts we had on the website, only 120 submitted something. 300 of them were ready to submit. This was submission time. And they didn't, because only 120 of that 300 submitted. So if you got a comic out in time and you submitted it, you have done more than you think you have. I need you to acknowledge that. Not because I think pity parties are fun, or because I think being legitimately self-aware of how hard it is to do what you did is important, right? You need to do that for yourself. And for the reality that is, it's hard to make a goddamn comic. The number of people that would tell me after the contest ended, oh, I finally thought of a theme, I thought of a premise, I thought of a concept. It's nuts, you know? And I think you should give yourself I don't know, you can give yourself that praise. Making comics is so fucking hard. It's so hard. And now that you've made one more comic, you've got one more thing for your portfolio. Go to Skibbity Sleep. Go to Skibbity Sleep, Jim. Bro. Also, do we host this event every year? The hope is every year. The hope is every year, Tortical. I hope next year I have more money. If I have more money next year, we're going to do bigger. We're going to do bigger. We're going to do better. Going to do more. So, you know, $2,000 next year. $2,000. I keep making the goals harder to hit and painful. $2,000 for next year. That's the goal. This is my community moment. 6 seasons in a movie, and then watch me not get the movie. There's a lot of manga. Oh, because every year the jump must be double. I gotta start saving so much money. Let's just hope. Look, it's a goal. We don't have to hit the goal. We can do exactly the same thing. Yeah, I can also probably just get more stuff. $1,000 a tablet and tablets and CSV codes is pretty good to me. Anyway, so that's our intermission done. Back to the comics. Yeah, I know. I know, Sola. I know how numbers work. Anyway, great job, Luvu. Absolutely lovely work. Let's talk about another person who I thought was going to trick me with Cute Anime Girl. Tan Borste? Tan Dorste? Oh, oh, Quanto, you gifted 5 subs. Thanks, Quanto. Oh, on Webcomics memberships? I didn't know you could gift memberships. Holy shit. Thank you for the memberships. I don't even know who some of these people are. Thank you for the memberships, Quanto. Great job. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Anyway, this is Bubble Witch. I'm going to move forward quickly before I get sucked into this one. Anytime, Quanto. Anytime. See you on that one next year. Anyway, Bubble Witch. Bubble Witch was awesome by Tan Borste. Bubble Witch is like, the creator was trying to write something that like really brought bubbles to them, and they thought of something that was like a character having a little bubble bath. And it's so cute. It's so cute. It's it's got a unique look. It's got like it looks so different from everything. I think that was the first thing that hit me about this. I was like, God, it's so whoever made this has such a strong sense of style. Like they have a strong visual understanding of what they're making, and I thought that was wonderful and gorgeous. Um, Also, the strangling the duck panel is beautiful. Everyone should draw one of these. You should draw strangling the duck, but it's me strangling you when you say bad things about your art. Uh, this slays. It's so cute. It's so cute. And she makes a little bubble hat. It's adorable. Anyway, yeah, the colors, the visuals, the aesthetic, wonderful work from everybody. And Tandborsty, I think I'm saying it right. Tandborsty. Hey, Magic Fire, thanks for bringing Raiders over on Twitch. Hey, Raiders, we're talking about a contest that Magic Fire entered. Magic. Twitch is a place. I love Twitch. Twitch is definitely a place. Thanks everyone on Twitch for showing up. I really appreciate the fire and fiery. Fire? Don't you mean fury? Don't you mean fury? Don't you all mean fury? Anyway, wow, 50 total viewers. Holy shit. I'm You're talking about top 20 right now, Magic Fire. You're talking about top 20 at the Words and Pictures Comic Jam. For anyone coming from Magic Fire's chat, welcome. I ran a comic contest in the last month. Magic Fire was one of the people who entered, but also lots of other people entered. So we're just talking about that, and we're going to talk about the top 3. That's kind of all we're doing today. But yeah, really, really, Fire and Fiery was a joke she made, but now it's just, yeah. I mean, they're all. I think they live in Australia. Like Australians don't speak good English. What do you mean? Terrible place. Nothing good happens there. They have giant spiders. Happy to have you, Sal the artist. Happy to have you. Oh wait, you were reviewing it, and did I say meat sweat? I mean, I did say meat sweat. Yeah. But yeah, Tandborsty, really wonderful work from Bubble Witch in the top 20. We're like almost done with top 20. I know everyone's probably really impatient. I want to talk about the top 3. I have a lot to talk about for them. Oh, another top 20. Prey, Veil's Edge, Lexi, wake up, Lexi. Wake the fuck up, Samurai. You made it to top 20. In case you didn't see the stupid goddamn email. Meat sweat is a legitimate term. Like, Lexi's comic was fucking phenomenal. Okay, I'm lying. That wasn't the only reason I picked it. Also, because Elf Lady. Guys, I'm really simple. Elf Lady, Fish Man. It's not that hard to win this contest. Just draw one of these. I mean, Sal, you're from South Africa? I lived in South Africa for a bit. I lived in Cape Town and Joburg for a little bit. I used to work like way out in Joburg in the sticks. Like way out. I worked in a camp. And when I worked in a little camp where we did like leadership events for people. But I grew up in Africa too, so you know the whole continent's like my whole place. You call it Lexi announcement? Yeah, because Lexi got it. I judge you for Yes, I judge you for liking a non-human individual that is also a bird. Cape Town. So you worked for One Piece. I hate y'all. Elves and fishmen are everything the society needed, and like I think Lexi brought that in spades. Also, I want to say this: I like that the fishman dies. I like that the merman dies. Okay, I like that he dies at the end. I like that he gets murked. Either that or like I don't know. Maybe she kisses him to death. I don't know. All I know is I like that he and her are cooked, or he's cooked. He tried. Listen, drowning people is just his way of saying that he likes you. Is that sarcasm? A little bit, to be fair. Um, it's all bits, Sile. We do bits the whole time. When I'm serious, I usually start, I'm serious. I change my whole tone of voice. But we do lots of bits in this. That is what mer people do. Mer people drown you. And I think drowning is fun. I don't think we should be worried about it. And I will go on record with that. I can't keep saying these horrible statements. That's what's gonna get. I said before in the stream, the day somebody what do you call it, drops a Google Doc on me on Twitter is when I get to quit. This is one of the things that'll be in it, I guess. But yeah, Lexi, wonderful job, and I absolutely loved reading this. Thank you for all the work. Another top 20 comic who probably definitely didn't read their email was Babaru. Babaru by Kiki1109. Kiki is in chat, as always. And it's about cat boys. There's not much more to say. There's cat boys, and there's cat boys. We love cat boys. We love cat boys. I don't have much else to add to this. That's literally what's in my notes. Cat boy, plus cat boy. The other judge absolutely loved it as well. They loved the visual. They loved the look. It was beautiful. This one. This is, okay. I'm going to show you guys my second favorite comic, but it is not second. This is my second favorite comic. Number one is my favorite comic, though. This is Last Stand by Kayla Stith. About a sea slug king that basically beats the shit out of a bunch of people. He fights the crabs, everyone. He fights the crabs. He fights the lobster man. It's so cool. I love this little story of a king kind of letting his people escape to safety while he fights the final stand. It's all underwater and it's beautiful. It's gorgeous, and also it's fun. The character design is so fun. The visuals are so fun, and this scene. There's a lot of things we could add, but this really cemented it all together for me. It's such an epic tale. I think Kayla commented on one of the videos, but I want Kayla to understand, this, if it was all up to me, Kayla, you'd have second place. But it wasn't all up to me, because that's not how that works. Other people had weighed in, and we had a lot of opinions. Two more. And why is he kind of tortical pin of shame? Pin of shame. What do you mean? Why is he kind of what? What are you trying to say? Huh? What is going on, guys? This is a holy stream. All right, this is a stream blessed by Jesus himself. How could you be thirsty in the chat? Solo, what the fuck? I can't even keep that on screen. I don't even think I can keep that on screen. No. Twitch chat. Horrible behavior in Twitch chat. Horrible. Disgusting. We hate Twitch chat. We hate to see it. But yeah, great work from Kayla. Great work in The Last Stand. Spirit Purified by Mark. Spirit Purified. Sounded like I said Spirit PewDiePie. Spirit Purified by Mark Smello. Also in the top 20. God, this one was so adorable. Why are people so good at coloring, and why are people so good at paneling all of a sudden? What's wrong with you people? Wonderfully paneled, wonderfully colored. Fun twist on the concept. Of exorcism in comics, or exorcism in storytelling, with the little soap bar. No, this is gorgeous work. I'm going insane. Some people forget that they're human. You see it. You see the moment where somebody forgot that they were people, and they act in a way that one could only call godlike. And that's all on display here with this paneling. The curtain, the bathtub. Oh, it's intelligent. It's brilliant work. Brilliant work. You got a fangirl. We got a fangirl for God and country. We're getting. Oh, and this is one of the last ones that isn't a winner. That's in the top 20. I'm gonna out somebody right now. My co-judge loves this. Okay, the other judge loves this a lot. This one was a lot for me, but the other judge loves this one a lot. This is Bubbles It by Stella Morris. Now, Stella, you did an amazing job. Okay, but like that ending, like I already outed you, but I'm gonna keep saying it like that. So it's the story. It's the story of a guy who's eating and drinking a ton of grease. He literally drinks the grease from his taco, and then he gets huge, disgusting zits. And then, why? I'm not prepared for this. I'm not prepared for this. It's like a Junji Ito comic. What is happening? It's so. You know what? Yes, it is well told, Linda. It is well told, but it's horrific in the good way. Look, this makes my skin itch because of how terrifying it is. Like, new fear unlocked, it really is the only thing to say. Bro really said skull emoji. Okay. Okay, we're acting up, I can see. We're acting particular today. There's literally a Junji Ito comic on grease and zit. Okay. You know what? I think this person should be sent to The Hague. I was trying to be nice and friendly and lovely. Stella, you need to go to international prison. Because this was a crime. This attacked me. I know you're being objective. I know it's good. That's the worst part. It's really good. It's really fucking good. He's just learning how to mew. Pit of shame. Every time you guys say weird stuff, pit of shame. What do you mean? He's just learning. I hate you. Anyway, this is really, really fucking good, but dear God. Anyway, so that's our top 20. That's everyone who qualified in top 20. That wasn't a winner. But and I want to say congratulations to every single one of you. Congratulations to every single one of you. You guys did phenomenal work. You know, you guys mogged on the competition, and you performed something that one could only call Sigma actions. Very skibbity, and good riz to you all. Did I do that right? I think I did. Congratulations to everybody and to the winners. Congratulations to the winners. Our 4 winners are wonderful, and starting from Drowning with Star by Sky. As I said, I made a PowerPoint and I didn't use it. I wrote every single one of these based on my conversations with Linda, or every single one of these. And Drowning a Star is so fucking cool. Sky, why are you so cool? Sky, why are you so effortlessly cool? Can you tell us that? Will you explain to the chat why you're so cool? Because your characters are so well designed. I love how angular everyone is. Like, genuinely, like everything so far has been round and soft, and you just made things like sharp, and that activated a neuron in my brain. It slayed so goddamn hard. So beautifully. I love the story. Very Mike Manola. Yeah, it is very Mike, actually. I love the story, like the story of the war that's going on. I like that the main guy is just English. He's just English. Like he landed, he's in a place where he doesn't have to be. And he's talking down to the locals by telling them that they're not allowed to have an opinion. Quintessential British culture. What else could it be if it wasn't just like, what is more British than xenophobia that is loud? And that's what this comic really reminded me of. British xenophobia. I absolutely loved it. I love the artist by Nesso. Nesso, this is one of your first comics or something like that. I remember this is one of your earlier comics. You've not made a lot of comics. And like, this is impressive as hell. Amazing showing, right, from Nesso. The little story It's your first ever finished comic. It's literally your first ever finished comic. Like, holy shit, you know? It's phenomenal work. You made a mascot because you wanted, you know how to fucking win us over. You made a little guy. Guys, he's a little guy. Look at him. He's a little guy. And then he fucking dies. We love to see it. We love to see it. No, beautiful work. God, the colors, the vibrancy, the old woman perishing. We love to see it. I think it's like, I keep making these sound bites that out of context could ruin my entire life. But I love doing it because I think it's funny. Perishing old woman. Gorgeous work. Everyone dead. And Happy Bubble by Cha Draws. Okay. I don't know if Cha's in the chat, but hopefully they see this video. Cha, did you mean to write Heavy Bubble or did you mean to write Heavy Bubble? This has been on my mind from day one. This is not a criticism. I just want to know because I've been thinking about it personally. It's bothered me. Yeah, no, this was your favorite. This was your favorite, Linda. This one was good, though. This one was so good. Vibrant, gorgeous, great backgrounds, great character design, great concept. You know, I love people who took the speech bubble concept and ran with it because it was wonderful concept to work with. Like, look at this fucking scene. This is the throwaway scene on the final page. Come the hell on, man. Damn. Some people are just different. And like, you can just see that, you know? You can see that in their work. Inhuman. Marvel's Inhumans because they lost the rights to mutants. Speech bubbles fighting each other was such a cool concept. When she jumps over the speech bubbles at the top, at the beginning, when she like does the flipping over them, so cool. God damn. Nah, dude. This is my favorite. And look, if you watch last year's contest, you know I'm a big fan of animals in art. In comics. Like, I love animals in comics. No, I don't like animals in real life. I like one animal, maybe two. But the first place winner is Dry Spell by Cloudy Magpie. Cloudy Magpie made the best comic I've read in a long time. Like, I'm not even kidding. You know, it's funny. It's funny. It's beautifully colored. I think this was colored on paper. I think this is physical. This was physically done. Like, it's funny. It's gorgeous. It's got great character design. There's like a moment when I thought I was going to die. This moment, I thought I was going to die. And the ending is hilarious. I sent this to people. I sent this to other people when the decision was made because I was like, I needed my friends and family who weren't involved with this. Yeah, it was color pencils. This was color pencils. I was like, you know, I didn't want to say it would win, but it hit me so hard. It hit me so hard. I couldn't, like, it just, nah, dude. Yeah, like, look, I'm going to make the tweet while we're here. But look, you guys did a phenomenal job. Cloudy Magpie and Cha Draws and Nesso and Sky, you guys did a disturbingly phenomenal job. And I cannot wait to read more things from you guys next year and more things from you guys just in general. If you make books, please send them to me. I need to read your goddamn books. I need your books, okay? I can't live like this anymore. Print something or I swear to God, I will end one of you. Like, print something eventually, okay? And like, if you like, all of the comics are linked on the page. All comics are linked in the description. Please go fucking read it. And when the video comes out, please go fucking read it. You're working on stuff, Sky? Good job. If you weren't, the gulag for you. But I'm glad that you're working on something. The post is out. The social post is out. We're announcing you guys winning. Super proud of all of you. Super proud of all the work. Proud of everyone who entered. Thank you to Linda. I couldn't have done it without you, Lynn. Oh, I couldn't have done it without you. I thought I was gonna die. Reading 120 comics? I thought it was gonna end with them. Can I take your pin off? All right, fine. I'll be nice. I'll be nice. And like, thank you to everybody who supported Patreons on our Patreon, supported on our Ko-fi, supported just by liking and sharing stuff and telling people about to enter the contest. Like, you guys are literally the lifeblood of this channel, and I cannot do it without you. Here's to next year's event. Okay, that's the whole thing. We're done with comic stuff. If you only came to see our stuff announced, everything's done. If you're here to talk about weird shit, can we talk about weird shit now? Can we talk about other stuff? Can we talk about non-big event stuff? Good job, everybody. God bless us, everyone. I know, so much fun. God, you guys are so good. You guys are so good at what you do. You guys are so good at what you do. Oh, I got a DM. Ooh. That's gorgeous. Next year will be your year. I mean, look, Rosie, you're like, I don't think you were in the top 20. You were in the top 10 last year. And now you're in top 20 this year. So next year, 100% possible. You should join the jam. Everyone should join the comic jam. Don't worry about making a perfect comic. Worry about entering. Worry about completing. If you can do that, jam after jam after jam, you'll get better. I wanted to do 2 a year, honestly. Okay, bye everyone who's leaving. Everyone's going to sleep, head to bed. I'm going to keep streaming though, because we're going to talk about other shit. So many amazing comics. You got to reread them, Nixie. You got to reread them. There's so many. I've reread all of them tons of times now, especially the top 20. God, lived rent-free in my mind. Thank you, Magic Fire. Thank you for entering. You know, Magic Fire, you're a professional artist. And yet, you have yet to draw me strangling one of your characters. Why is that? You know, as a professional artist, I thought you would be engaging in what we call great art, and then draw me like one hand on one of your characters, the other hand slapping them. I thought you'd do that by now, but you haven't. That bothers me. That concerns me. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Excited for next time? Yeah, be excited. Like, be excited. Next year, I mean, you can, Magic Fire. You should. Next year, an interesting... Linda! I hate you so much. I hate you. Anyway, next year's event, I don't know what we're going to do as a theme. Especially because we're trying to figure out how we're going to run the different sections, you know, with vertical and page. It's hard to judge both of them. No, don't agree with Linda. You're horrible. It's hard to judge. I'm going to level. It's hard to judge vertical and page on the same level, because vertical is very weirdly easy to suck me into the story. Even if I don't like the story, every vertical comic sucks me in just because of the way vertical comics read. Also because I'm a big fan of like leveling comics, unfortunately for me. So I'm often sucked into the story when it comes to stuff like that. So I don't know. I might have to split them into 2 different categories next year. Or I might try something else. Who knows? I want to be able to mail something out. Oh, can I talk to you guys about something? Comic awards. Can we talk about comic awards for a second? I put out a video. If you watch me religiously, as you should, as God said, if you watch me, you probably saw my video recently. Oh, I'm gonna put this little audio at the back. If you saw my last video on the channel, which, by the way, thank you everybody who watched it, please leave comments. I hate when people do this. Okay, I don't hate it. It just is a little weird. People do this a lot, where they'll send me a message about a video that they watched. They won't comment on the video. They'll just send me a message and be like, yeah, dude, that video was great. I'm like, just write it in the comments. It's so fucking weird. I do it. So many people do it. It actually is becoming a problem. Like my video was like has like no comments, and I'm just like, guys, you're all doing the same thing. Why don't you just comment? Whatever. But oh my god, I didn't want to play the video. I just wanted to open it. Anyway, get over it. Like, do you want me to succeed or not? No, but like, I just did this video about the Eisners and the Ringos and stuff. I'm gonna like pin someone else so that I don't make Tortical feel ashamed of being pinned. I guess I have like a bunch of questions for you guys. One, like, do you agree with me? I know a lot of you watched the video. My basic argument in the video, for everyone who doesn't know, is pretty simple. I just said that I think these awards do not serve the webcomic industry very well. I think they reinforce trends that are bad because of the way our industry only has a handful of publishers, and so the things that get to actually get to the top, right? Things that actually get to the top, get to the award section, are things that are basically pushed by the big three publishing companies that we have right now in webcomic, which are Webtoon, Tapas, and Manta, right? And then it's concerning. It's concerning what that is doing to what people make. I feel like Lore Olympus winning every Ringo and Eisner in webcomics in the last like 2 years has made it that people only want to make Ringo and Eisner stuff, and that's concerning. The concept video was interesting. I think it's a complex issue because it feels like different fields, like judging audiobooks, same as novels. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, I completely understand what you mean by. Wait, actually, which video are you talking about? What video are you talking about? Dead Duck? Just in case I'm losing my mind. But yeah, I feel like the comic awards are beginning to limit people's creativity. I think comic awards in general do that. Like awards do that. Like I said this in the video, but like, you know, I've been black a long time, and like when people would give awards, comic awards, yeah. My bad, just making sure. It's really weird because it's I think what it does is like when awards in movies used to happen, you would get a lot of Oscar baiting movies. You know, every Oscar baiting movie that had black people in it had to be a slave movie. You wanted to win an Oscar as a black filmmaker, make a slave movie. Get some slave songs on, you know, like get them sitting there picking cotton, and you're gonna win an Oscar. If you don't do that, you don't win an Oscar. And like it took a long time for that to get changed. And it wasn't because it's for a lot of reasons, a lot of small and big reasons, but it's the nature of the way the things that won awards. Yeah, Kiki, that's a thing. That's like a thing. Like winning the Oscars as a black filmmaker is hard to do if you don't make a slave movie or a segregation movie. Like it's a thing, it's a problem. And it only changed recently, and funnily enough, Black Panther is one of the reasons it changed. So I don't know. Yeah, and people want to be the best in comics. If you want to be acknowledged by your peers as one of the best comic creators ever, the unfortunate reality is it leads to you making things that like it leads to you making things that like fuck. I don't know how to put it. It leads to you making things that are what the zeitgeist thinks is popular, even though no human may really think that's what they want to read, but the awards are telling you that's what you should make. Yeah, it's like the Game Awards, Ryan. Exactly. They're trying to do what Hollywood does for their award shows and appealing, and it basically pushes big companies forward. It doesn't promote what people love. It promotes what people spend the most money on. And that usually can be a really good thing, but it isn't always that. Also, Dead Duck, you're saying like the Words and Pictures contest sort of feels like trying to catch something to win the contest, to win an award. Oh, I see what you're saying. I think when it comes to contests and like little small things like this, I think it's fine. I think when it comes to things that are like by your peers, because I'm not your peers. Me and Linda are just two people. But like events like the Eisners and the Ringos are voted on by everybody. Like every comic professional votes in the Eisners and the Ringos. I vote in the Eisners and the Ringos. I vote for both of them, in both of them. You know? I voted in both of these, in both of those awards, and so it kind of makes me like, you know, when somebody wins, it's not just you won, it's you won even for people who don't fucking know you. People who've never met you in their lives saw what you made and were like, chef's kiss, put it on the plate, you know? And if getting nominated is also hard, because again, the only way to get nominated is for a company to push you forward. Like, there's just a lot of small problems with this, I think. You know, I think there's solutions. I truly believe that there are solutions. I just, because I'm gonna level with you, I've been thinking about running my own content, my own comic award, my own like award show. I have too much work to do. But yeah, I'm thinking about running my own award show, like the Game Awards, but for comics, for webcomics specifically. Because I just think the current crop is not doing a good job. I think it's not doing a good job. And I think the problems that they bring are very systemic. I get this a jury of peers, but people looking to win a Ringo Eisner also know it's a specific audience, which is the mass market. I mean, I agree with you, Dead Duck. Like, I think to some extent, your peers are going to judge you on what you make, and because they're all artists, they're also going to judge you on something being artsy enough, right? Like this is the fine art problem, right? You only respect it in fine art when you make something that the fine artists think is fine art enough, you know? And like I know that's going to also have its own audience, and you know, do that to your content. But I just think I don't know. I think there may be a better way to handle this. Like my brain logic here, right, is like, if you put an award that's industry professionals, and you put an award that's based on like sales numbers, and you put an award that's based on lots of little things, I think if you can like diversify the kind of awards you give out, you might be able to avoid this like over specificity of the market that you're talking about, of the audience that you're talking about, right? I think the problem with the current Eisners is everything is basically best writer, best colorist. Okay, who judges you on best writer? Other artists. But like, let's say you had an award that was like, you know, like just that's objective. Most, like something that's like most sold, so you call it like, I don't know, most popular, like the most popular X comic, just based on pure sales numbers. I think we should respect people for getting sold well, you know, and we should split that between people who are published, people who aren't published. Publishers offer a lot of advantages. I think non-published people should be celebrated for doing well in the economic part of making comics, because we all talk about how important it is. We should talk about it. I think there may be some objective points where we can add in that like reduce this over specificity of the audience. I don't know if that's true though. Maybe you heard what I said and you were like, that's bullshit. And you're probably right. Like, I'm gonna level with you. Like, you're probably right. I don't know. I think also, so when I'm talking about a comic awards, I mostly mean a webcomic awards, Dead Duck. So like in webcomics, sales are often determined by physical sales, which we don't really do a lot of, or like your shared number of readers. Like your sheer number of readers over a period of time, which is an objective number you can get. Later, Paris. Like you can objectively get that number. You can ask somebody, you can ask for a data pool and get that value from a company, you know? And a lot of creators can have that value. The algorithm, none of these platforms actually really have algorithms right now, so I wouldn't use that word. Like none of them really have algorithms right now that I'm aware of. Yeah, not really. Maybe Manta. I think that's it. And you can't really submit to that easily. Also, it's not just the algorithm, right? Like it's also your own marketing as a creator, right? It's your marketing, it's your networking, it's the quality of your work. Like the algorithm doesn't just shape everything. And as much as we like to say the algorithm as if it's this nebulous thing, it's a representation of the feelings of people, if there is one. right? For any time there is one in a platform, is representation of the feelings of the mass population using it. I think it's a pretty accurate representation, personally. You might disagree. I'd love to have an argument back. I'm super happy to talk about it. But I wonder, like, what everyone thinks about this. Like, is there a world you see where awards are even fair, or do you even think they have any value? Like, maybe you guys think about this and you're like, this all sounds really complicated. Maybe we shouldn't do awards in industry awards anymore. Maybe they're just like outdated and don't serve their purpose. I wonder. I'm thinking deep. I'm thinking deep. I don't know. Because like I think industry awards are very important. I like it when I can tell my peers that they're doing a great job. I like it when I can see a book come out and be like, this person deserves to win something for it. But I don't know. You feel awards should put a spotlight on obscure but great projects. Cool. Awards should be regulated. But like why, bro, why is Lord Olympus one theory zero? Because Lord Olympus is a really good comic. Like, I want to be very clear about that. I think LO is wonderful. But I do agree with you, there should be better rules about how people get to win, because it causes a certain stagnation of winners if you let things move a certain way. I think they're fun when they get specific, but I feel like the surface level ones where they're like in walled gardens feel overrated now. Fair enough. And Dead Duck is like, I get that. Let's say you're creating something that doesn't appeal to the webcomic demographic, but the medium has value from a cost perspective. Artistic freedom? Okay. No, that's a good point. Right, you're not always making something for the market that consumes the medium you're using. Sometimes you're using the medium because it's convenient. Like, should that person not be able to win? I mean, I guess maybe then, is there a single webcomic demographic? You see, Kylie, I think there isn't. I actually really don't think there is. At least across platforms, I 100% don't believe there is. I think each platform has very different users. And to deny that would be insanity. I think each of like the 5 current major platforms, the 5 current major and minor platforms, they all have their own kind of audience that goes there. Kiki says, I think awards serve as a way to show people that this is serious work. Even if I'm not a fan of a big fan. Yeah, I think to some extent they give us legitimacy as an industry, right? Like they let people know that we mean what we're doing here. Dead Duck says there's definitely numbers like on Tapas, but there's definitely numbers like on Tapas that they say they market to. Oh yeah. Like they have a definitive like audience that they're looking for 100%. Tapas, Webtoon, and Manta appeal to very different people. I even think that Global Comics and Namikomi appeal to very different people too. So like there's a kind of a, it's kind of the, you're right that like, you know, oh, I need to think about this more actually before I say anything. Let me read. I know it was mentioned kind of earlier, but I think maybe a game awards type of awards, but also specific types of promo in between could be fun. Like when we get through wasn't a fun fact about the longest running active comic something. Yeah, no, I think that's cool too. Look, my idea for running a comic awards, part of it was to just sell so many ads. I wanted to sell more ads than God. I wanted to sell so many ads I killed somebody. Like you would see an ad and then like a comic would open and it would be like, Best Writer brought to you by Gatorade. Because I think it doesn't matter. We need that money in the industry. I'll give the money to whoever I need to give it to make it a social good all around. But like, I think we need them ads. As a reader / viewer, I prefer it for awards to introduce me to new, not necessarily up and coming artists with fresh takes that make me look forward to them. Based. Age is definitely one of the biggest factors in different demographics. No, you're totally right, Ryan. Age is I think age is one of the biggest factors right now in the comic demographics difference. Because Webtoon is appealing to Gen Z. Manta is actually appealing exclusively to people who read the content that they put out. They don't care what your age is. But from what I understand, they kind of want like teen, like young teen. So Gen Alpha. Matt is looking at Gen Alpha. Webtoon's looking at Gen Z. Freaking, what'd you call it? Tapas is actually looking older. I think Tapas is appealing to like millennials, younger millennials, older Gen Z, because like Tapas content that they try to sell and make money off of, a lot of it's very adult. Young teen. Gen Alpha has been teens for a bit because they're like '07 babies. So a lot of Gen Alphas are becoming 18 right now. A lot of Gen Alphas are becoming 18 like right now. It's nuts. And then like, what is it? Global Comics is appealing to like most of the comics they have on there are old. A lot of them are older comics, and so it looks like their demographics are like 30 plus, older people. And Namikomi, I don't think it has a clear identity. Age definitely a thing. I'm 50 plus, and the floppy guys did not come to webcomics en masse. Yeah, actually, I want to get your thoughts on something here. Am I crazy, or floppy comics people, do they just not respect webcomics? Like sometimes I talk to people and I'm like, yeah, a lot of webcomics are doing really well. They're getting deals with these publishers and those publishers, and they act like I'm making it up. It's happened like once or twice, not a lot, but I've talked about like my friends making webcomics who get deals with like Viz or with Skybound or whatever. And people look at me real funny when I say that. Like as if I'm lying about it. Like I don't think they mean to. I think maybe just because, from what I understand, floppy comics is just a really rugged, awful place to make a living. Floppy comics are just print comics, print comic makers. Oh, okay, cool. It's a thing. Cool. Good to know I'm not crazy. Sometimes they look at me funny. Like I mentioned, so one of my friends around the time got a publisher deal in Europe. And I was like, oh yeah, like, because look, I come from webcomics. I don't know how hard it is to get a publisher deal, because there was a time when my friends were getting publisher deals out the ass, like on our regs. So like, I was like, oh, it must be not that difficult at the time. And I said to a print friend, oh, just like make a webcomic, dude. You're a good artist, make a webcomic. You'll probably get a print deal off of that if you can get an audience. And they looked at me like I said, like, drink bleach. And then I said that they've got like a webcomic art style in their work, and they were like, no, it's not. And I was like, what do you think that means? No, like publisher print comics, Quanto, like they work with like Image and stuff. They publish through like other publishers. Webtoon does market to girls more. No, they're marketing to boys more now, though, Nick C. They're marketing to boys a lot more now. I had a deal in the late stages of the boom with a small company. It's been no sniff since then. Like, I think right now we're in a really weird place because of the recession. Because like, okay, I'm going to do economics talk for a second. I took my glasses off because I said, watch numbers. But like, look, we're in the middle of like a recession, like an economic recession worldwide. I personally believe that, right? We're in the middle of an economic recession. And the problem with an economic recession is that everyone gets tight-strained. But all the comics companies are in the middle of the biggest boom they will ever have. They're in the middle of their boom. This is their era. This is their girl boss era, right? This is their girl boss era, right? And like, it's the big webcomic companies, this is their years to make a bunch of money. People are willing to give them investments. People are willing to spend money on them. People are looking to spend money on them to avoid spending money on new IP from new writers in Hollywood. Like, they are prime real estate for heavy exploitation from... What the fuck did I just get said? They're in the position for heavy exploitation from the Hollywood market and the media market and the mass media market at large, which is great because it means a lot of people are going to make a lot of fucking money, right? And because of a recession, they're also being tight-strained. They're spending less money. They're trying to be careful. It's weird. And also, the floppies aren't making cash. They just aren't. Like, American comic books don't make money. I say this so much. People think I'm going nuts. American comic books don't make money. Also, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? People just draw things of me. People just draw me doing things. And like, I know I asked for this one, but Jesus Christ. No, and the big reason why American comic books don't make money, in my opinion, and Dead Duck might disagree, I think the reason they don't make money is because their IPs are stagnant. Like, their IPs are stagnant, and they're not very good at marketing to different audiences. The number of people I talk to in the American comic book industry, and especially, that don't believe that women read comics is insane. Like, they just don't believe women read comics. Am I crazy? Webtoon puts an entire industry off of women. Like, what do you mean women don't read comics, you stupid bastard? They'll just say that to you. Like, I said to them, women read comics. They're like, women don't really read comics. I'm like, no, women read comics. They just stick to IPs that they like. Like, the behavioral trends that I have seen, and this is anecdotal behavioral trends, but the behavioral trends that I have seen from the people I know that read comics, the men I know that read comics read like 10 different comics at once. All the men I know are reading like 10, 15, 16 comics at the same time and just keeping up with all of them so they could talk about it, right? All the women I know that read comics, all the femme people I know, all of them, they pick up one comic and then they die there. That's their baby, right? Maybe 2 or 3, and they read just those 3 for the next year. They're always ready for it. They know the update date. They're writing comments. They're engaging heavy. Like, when I see women reading comics, they engage so fucking heavy. So fucking heavy. Like, but they only engage with like 3. Guys read like 15 and then they tweet about them every day. But they don't really engage. They don't like go buy merch and shit. But the women I know who read stuff, they'll buy all the merch. They'll buy all the t-shirts. It's nuts. Yeah, Webtoon used to boast about women until it was no longer convenient. And they started doing, we want men. Kylie, that's why I think it's more than fair that Webtoon is being for girls. Give us one thing. Yeah, no, women can have Webtoon. Go read your Spider-Man. Kylie, Spider-Man is for everybody, okay? Spider-Man is for men. Spider-Man is for women. Peter Parker is the only true superhero left in comics. And quite frankly, I hate that people don't understand that. Every other character in comics kind of ass. Also, everyone should read Marvel Ultimate Spider-Man that's going on right now. Please read it. Please, I don't want them to stop making it. Oh my God. I'm genuinely worried that they're going to make Peter like die or kill MJ or something. I don't want them to do that. I want them to treat him with respect. Man's been through enough. Please, I'm begging you. I never advertised for a comic my entire life. Please, I'm sorry to keep canceling your comics, but please don't do this to me. This is the only good Peter Parker comic I've read in years. The only good Spider-Man comic I've read in years. Please, I need this. I need this. Linda, you don't understand. Linda, you don't understand. They took away Peter Parker's girlfriend and gave her to some guy named Paul. I need this comic to succeed, Linda. For me, I need this comic to succeed. I will do anything. I've bought so many copies for people. I've literally just donated copies to a library. I want this book to succeed so much. I can't go back to what we used to have. I can't go back there. Oh, Dead Duck says, brick and mortar shops were very insular until bookstores started selling graphic novels. They all thought the field was just males. I think they're dumb as hell. Like, I want to be so real. I think comic people in the industry just don't want to understand that that comics that is just fucking media, my guy. Like, they when I tell them, oh my God, one of my biggest arguments I've had, I'm not doing anything bad to that cat. Also, he's not a cat, he's a beast. He's a twin-tailed beast. He's not a cat. I did nothing to any cats. He's a monster. He kills things. Anyway, want to know the dumbest argument? Want to know the dumbest argument I had with somebody recently was about young people. Okay, so I was arguing with somebody about comics because I'm obsessed. And I straight up said, young people are the most valuable demographic in media right now. And do you know what they said to me? They said 3 things. They said they don't have money, they ain't got no bread, they're too fickle about the things that they like. They only read things on their phones. And I said, why the fuck are your comics not on their phones? And they do got that bread because young people don't have responsibilities. Like, look, they were fighting. They were like 30-year-olds are the demographic, 30-something plus year olds are the demographic because they have money. I'm like, young people have money. They just only spend it on the things that they love. Young people will drop $150 on things that they love because they don't got responsibilities to anything. They don't gotta pay bills. They don't gotta pay childcare. Like that 35-year-old, that has $10,000 in his bank account. Half of that money is because his kids might die suddenly. He needs to be able to pay for everything that can happen to them. So he's not gonna spend it on your stupid ass comic. He's gonna spend it or just save it. But 25-year-olds are irresponsible as hell. One of my friends is 23 years old. I love him to bits. I love him to hell. He DM'd me last night. He DM'd me with the fucking poster that was just like a poster of a cat fighting a bear or something. Something stupid like that he commissioned. So he paid $150 to commission this poster, paid another $100 or whatever to get it printed on some really high quality print thing, and get a frame and get everything done. $300 for one poster. He got a custom made frame. What do you mean young people don't have money? What are you talking about? They do. I don't understand. Kids will pirate shit to hell. But here's the thing, Dead Duck, and this is the thing that we learned from Netflix. That's the thing we learned from Netflix. Kids won't pirate shit if it's available and convenient. They'll pay for it. Even if they fucking hate paying for it, they'll pay for it. Kids love subscriptions. The young people love subscriptions. Like, they love it to hell. They love subscriptions, and they'll pay for something if it's convenient. They'll happily pay for it because they would rather pay you than scour every torrenting site in the world looking for your shit. It just isn't worth it for them. They would rather pay you the money. And also, they like supporting these artists. One of the most important parts of content creation, and I've talked about this for years, right? We do not understand that comics, like most media, like YouTube videos, like game development, is a parasocial relationship. Dead Duck, you're old enough to remember this. Did you grow up playing Marathon or like Doom or something? Did you, like back in the day, did you play Doom and Marathon? Did you know like the names of the game developers that made your games? Because and did you look up to them a little bit, or at least like were you impressed by them? Because I grew up playing Doom and Marathon on my dad's Doom on my dad's IBM PC and Marathon on my dad's MacBook that he had Mac that he had at work, and I absolutely adored Bungie growing up, even though I don't play any of their games anymore. I played Pong on Atari. Yeah, you get the point. Same difference. My point I'm getting at is that humans are very good at forming attachments to the people that make things that they love. And we have parasocial relationships with them. And the thing with comics, and this is going to sound so psychotic, I'm sorry. The thing with comics is it's great for that parasocial relationship, right? Like, comics, you can be so close to the audience. You can make things for them every week. You can leave comments. You can talk to them because, especially online, especially digitally, because, it's basically a social platform where you upload an image and they leave comments, right? So you and the audience have a deep relationship. And so on top of all of the other shit of like convenience and stuff, they love you. I believe in the 1,000 fans theory because the internet has made that true. And it has proven itself true dozens of times. I am literally a product of the 1,000 fans theory. I couldn't run this contest without my 1,000 fans theory. The 1,000 fans theory is that it is better to have an audience of 100,000 people who will only occasionally engage with you than it is it is worse to have an audience of 100,000 people who will only occasionally engage with you than it is to have an audience of 1,000 people that will literally dig up the ground if you ask them to. And like, that's very common to have just a small, but incredibly dedicated fan base. Like literally this fan base is small and dedicated. We watch like most people in the fan base watches almost every stream, watches almost every video, comments on as many of them as they can. They talk to me about them. They take my feedback and they tell other people about it, right? They give me donations. They engage with my big events. Like, it works. Fucking Paris isn't here anymore, but Paris makes a comic called Misfit and Miko. Paris took that 1,000 fan theory and used it to keep getting themselves audiences that are very dedicated to their comic. Paris just did a merch drop. I bought the merch, by the way, because I'm one of the fans. Paris did a merch drop. I bought merch. That more people are going to buy merch because like that audience is going to strongly fight for you. But you need to communicate with them. You need to get them to love you. You need to get them to see the way you think. You can't just be a talking head. You need to be like a buddy. And I think for not everyone, it doesn't always come natural to everyone, I'll admit. It comes really natural to me. But yeah. Oh yeah, you're Ski Cook. You gotta change your name. Good to know that that's Ski Cook. Also, you're 50. Nuts. I don't think I've ever. What is? I'll switch this name someday. I mean, Dad Dead Duck is a cute name. I thought, like, honestly, when you said you were 50, I was like, maybe your kids gave you that name. It's a cute name. Social anxiety is, I mean, you don't have to do it, Buyo, but like, Azule, you don't have to do it, but like, it helps. Like, stop thinking of your audience as a bunch of strangers who are just reading your shit. And if you think of them as like people who just really love what you make, like, don't think about any other part of them. They don't exist in your brain as anything other than people who really love what you make. And if you think about them like that for a little bit, it gets very easy to interact with them. Like, one of the things that somebody praised me on when I started streaming was I remembered everybody's name. If you've ever entered this chat, even one time, I know every single one of your names. I know the name that you came in. I remember the last thing you said to me. I remember the funniest thing you said to me. Usually, like 90% of the time-ish, I remember all of that. Why do I do that? Because it's one, because I like you guys, but also because it's a great way to form a relationship with you. And like, that relationship is what makes you want to support me. And in a cynical way as possible to talk about this, in a content world, you need that because of how you get supporters to drop cash. I agree that a small hyped fan base is the path at this stage. None of the aggregate sites make it that easy. They don't. I agree with you. I agree with you, Ski. They literally they do everything they can to get in the way of. Hold on a second. To get in the way of like our ability to just so everything I hear will be remembered. Most things you say will be remembered. They do everything they can to get in the way of like you forming an independent fan base. One of the reasons I stream on YouTube is because YouTube lets me do that. Twitch does not. Twitch actually wants you to become super reliant on Twitch. They want you to not want to leave Twitch. They want you to have nowhere else to go that is Twitch. Like, Twitch is very good at basically cordoning you into Twitch. But YouTube is great at like making you more likely to go other places. YouTube encourages you to link stuff. YouTube encourages you to say the word to get engagement for the sake of building up your other businesses. They let you link off to other things on the screen. That's huge, right? That's why I love YouTube. And other reasons too. I've been here for like 20 years or whatever. So, you know, I'm kind of conditioned to love YouTube now, but yeah. I mean, I think just know that Twitch isn't made for somebody to become famous on Twitch and then leave. Twitch is made for you to become famous on Twitch. End of. Like, they don't want you thinking you're too big for Twitch. Like, that, it just isn't constructed like that. Marketing is hard and not something everyone knows how to do as naturally as picking up a pen and drawing a line. You see, what's funny, Magic Fire, is drawing a line is legitimately not natural to me. I think that's the thing that makes this interesting. None of this stuff is natural to me. Art isn't natural to me. Writing isn't natural to me. Social interaction isn't natural to me. I've never been good at any of that. So I think that's one of the reasons why I know anybody can do it, because it just takes you doing it repetitively. I think in fact, I'm going to show you a great example of what I mean by how unnatural this is to me, even though it feels like I've been doing, you guys only know me from like the me that you know now. A lot of you don't remember how I used to make content, but if you've been watching me make stuff for a while, you'll remember that I used to sound like this. Where the fuck is the video? God, want to see the video I hate the most? This is a video. This is a video I made a while ago. I don't even talk like this when I record videos anymore.
Platform on this planet. It's used by myself and many other creators. And right now, the platform is in a state that I find to be a little bit bothersome. You see,
why do I have a British accent? What happened? Why do I sound so different? What, 3 years ago? Damn. I sound so different. I sound wrong. But yeah, no, like none of this stuff is natural to me. Making content is not natural to me. Drawing isn't natural to me, all that stuff. Cheerio. And so like, I just know you can do it. It just takes time. One of the problems I think artists have is they don't want to expose themselves to that. They don't want to because it's hard and they have a lot of social anxiety, but they don't think it's worth the work. You know, I have a friend who talks to me a lot about people that they meet that are really good at networking. And they're like, wow, they're so good at networking. Oh, okay. Third Place finally sent me an email. They're so good at networking. And like, I just tell them like, hey, if you just do it every day, you get as good as they are. You just need to do it every day and you need to suck at it. You need to have awkward conversations that make you look stupid. And then one day you'll wake up and everyone will be saying, wow, you're so good at networking. Can you teach me? But maybe we should do a course on how to like market your comic by using parasocial methods. Market your comic by making your audience dedicated to you. Start a cult. Step 1, start a religious cult. If you start a religious cult, I promise you will get people reading your comic immediately. I'm not even joking. If you want to really make big money with comics, start a religion. Trust me, you'll make so much money with comic. It worked for L. Ron Hubbard. He sold a ton of books off of that. I'd much rather them be parasocial with the characters than me. I mean, you can build that into them. Marketing yourself is a lot, like really hard when you start outside the key demographic most places. You know, yeah, that's true. And Linda says yes. Linda, you told me to make everything, huh? You want me to create life. You know what, Linda? I'll tell you this. If you can get, what's like a funny thing I could ask for? Okay, here, Linda. If you can help me get a publisher to sponsor me working on how-to videos and like stuff like that, I'll do it. If you can get that, if you could do it, I'll do it. Like working on like no, Linda, you are that powerful. I want you to take your phone. I want you to call fucking what's his name? What's the head of content at DC's name again? Jim Lee. I want you to call Jim Lee with his fancy NVIDIA computer. I want you to call him and be like, hey, Jim, you want to drop some cash? Marketing is hard in general. I will admit that. My boy Jim Lee on speed dial. I never ever worked at DC. Well, Linda, you're going to have to figure that out yourself. You're going to have to figure that out. Send him a text. Just be like, I know you never heard of me, Jim, but you know my work. That would be funny as hell. That's how I should send him an email. I think I have his email, actually. I legitimately believe I have his email because I was in a thread with somebody related to him. And so I think I might have his email on deck. It was for like a work thing as well. Like it was for a work thing. I don't remember what the email was though. Borrow someone else's. Exactly. Here's what you should do, Linda. Go to Mark Silvestri. Look him in the eye. And be like, hey, Mark, call Jim for me. Call Jim for me. And then when he says no, like slap him. Hey, Jim, I know you've read my stuff. Considering what Linda makes, knowing you read her stuff is normal. If you, I mean, Mark is much cooler. But I really like Jim because of the hustle and grind set of charging $20,000 for let me show you this. I really love that Jim Lee charged 20 grand for this. I love it. I'm in love with the fact that he charged 20 grand for this. Somebody went to one of the greatest living comic artists, an artist of our generation, and gave him 20K and said draw Bluey. You're kidding me. You're actually kidding me. It gave 20K to draw Bluey. No, that's so dumb. You didn't even ask him to draw Bluey doing anything cool. He just said draw Bluey. And the worst part is you could see that Jim isn't used to drawing like this from the way, like, the very visible erasure lines on the page. Like, you can see where he's like erased the pencil line work. And like 20K. 20K. Nah, you couldn't pay me that much for this. I think that's insane. I could have drawn that. I couldn't. And that's not saying that Jim isn't good. I'm saying that this is the waste of a commission. Like, at least ask him for Bluey, like, taking over Earth or something. Like, I don't know. It's an expensive birthday card with unerased pencil on it. I just think that Emma deserved more, but okay. You know what you can buy with $20,000? Like, I'm actually kind of mad right now. You know what you can buy with $20,000? Like, you can buy a used Tacoma, a used Tacoma truck. Like, I'm not even joking. Look, you can buy, for $20,000, you can buy a used Toyota Tacoma, 2020. No one's ever called me Nenpai, no. You can buy a 2020 Toyota Tacoma SR, right? Straight cash for $20,000. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. This is a United States car. This is a United States car website. This is cars.com. Dad, let's talk. Dad, Doug, this is cars.com. You did call me. Did you call me Nenpai the other day? I don't remember. Okay, I just don't remember, I guess. Like, where is this? What state is this in? Hold on, wait. Let me actually check something. I better check Carfax. Is this stolen? Is this car stolen? The price history. Look, it went down from 20 grand. I'm just saying, it comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I'm just saying, like, I think that they spent too much money on that commission. This may be a stolen car, but it's not. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Another. Okay, this is 2013. You know what? I take that one back. I'm fighting for my life, trying to get you guys to understand why this is a bad thing. Somebody goes check Carfax because it might be stolen. Guys, my point remains. I don't know. I just think that was way too much money. But anyway, back to the thing we were talking about. I mean, hey, look. Legitimate question. Does anyone actually know where their audiences come from? Does anyone actually know typically where they get their audiences from? Okay, so Lamau, no, thank you. Yes. Okay, wait, actually, where? Where do you get them from? Where? Also, I'm having a snack, and you can't stop me. Wait, so you don't know if they came to you through the website you upload on, or through Twitter, or through Instagram, or whatever? I mean, your sister is a dedicated fan. Nope. 90% I think was the Tapas ads on Tapas specifically, though. I draw Purple Man, they come from Webtoon. Fair enough. The Tapas forums. That's interesting. I didn't expect that one. Interesting. It's an interesting thing to hear. It's a service. Okay, let me show you guys something. I want to show you guys something that someone sent me because it's interesting to me, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about. Somebody sent me this service, and I'm not done looking into it. So this is not me saying this is a good service. It could be absolute dog shit. I wanted to preface that. Anyway, well, someone sent me this service, and the whole idea of this service is pretty simple. You link your comic, right? You link your comic. You sent a link. So you sent a bindings.com link. The bindings.com link basically takes people to a preview of your comic. They read the preview and then they can click a button to go read the rest of it or to share it or to buy it or whatever. Basically do whatever next engagement you want them to do. Which I think is interesting. And it basically allows you to track where your viewers are coming from, how they're getting to you, etc. I think it's interesting. I think it's very important to have data like this. I think this is cool. I think there's problems I have with this on a rough level, but nothing like major. What I am wondering about is like, that lack of knowledge of your audience. Like, would something like this help you guys? Would this benefit you? Yeah, it's like a preview to your own site or to the website you host your comic on. The idea is you send the link so people who've never been there before, people who've never seen a comic before will basically have a good preview before having to make an account on any of these websites. Because Webtoon needs you to make an account, Tapas needs you to make an account, they all need to make an account. People just want to fucking read the thing, right? So this might be a great in-between solution. And two, it gives you data on where they're coming from. It lets you know where the audience is from. Because you're going to post this link in multiple places, right? You're going to link to your comic with this link in a lot of places. And so it'll let you know, like, hey, this reader is a blah, blah, blah person. And then you can also then take them from there to your next section. So either your Webtoon page or your Tapas page or your Amazon page for them to buy the book, right? And then you can like basically use that to go, okay, 10,000 people came through the link. They all saw the page. Only 500 of them clicked through to the comic. And I only had, or to the Amazon page, and I only had 5 sales. Like that tells you your funnel, which is important in sales, to know your sales funnel, your conversion funnel, but yeah. I like a theory in general, but it's in general the problem with the individual site. The phone readers have no easy way to link. Yeah. It basically makes it so you can link, you can like, wait, we'll see. Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, what this is trying to basically do is solve that problem by making so anyone can read before they go onto the thing. Yeah, we were actually going to work on this, Magic Fire, with our extension because we have the Webtoon extension. I might contact them and see if we can hook our stuff together, and so we can have more data in the extension for Webtoon. And then, because I mean, a little bit of a preview on this. The data product that we're doing, the data extension that we're working on, is getting a bit of an expansion. We realized that we can finally collect data from a lot of different regions for Webtoon, and we're also thinking of expanding to other platforms. So I'm putting all in one app. So this might be a great addition to that relationship. If they want to work with me, if not, whatever, I can go fucking kick rocks, right? Oh, I don't think everyone knows that I've been working on this. Let me actually show them. I think I should show people. I think. How do you know the data isn't repeating? In what way? Because there's very few moments when repeating data is still not useful. I mean, like the same person clicking the link over and over and over again. IPs, combination of IP and MAC address, and you can pretty much know that it's not the same person. And a lot of websites collect that data to identify you. Oh, on two different sites. Well, there's nothing you can do about that. You just have to. The assumption of a lot of products like this, and I think it's a reasonable assumption, is that nobody does that. Nobody, no person is like reading on two different websites at the same time. They're usually reading on one. They have a home website that they go to, right? That's what most people, I believe, do. Let me show you guys my data thing, if it's still working. Oh yeah, it is still working. So this is the data thing we're talking about for people who don't know, who've never seen it. We made like a Webtoon data product. It's pretty cool. Shows you pretty well tracks data for your series. Yeah, and those that do are likely negligible, and they're not enough to move the data. Like, if you had 300 readers, they're not going to make your readers 10,000 readers. So it's not enough to change what the meaning of the data is. I believe personally. Oh, that's when we collected. We need to fix that. We're gonna have to fix that at some point. Anyway, so yeah, like you know, we this is the data part we were talking about earlier when I was saying the Webtoon data thing. I feel like I've shown this a few times now. It's no longer a secret. It's like in open beta, like this September. So we're supposed to be open beta earlier, but life and contest. But you know, we're moving. I don't know. Like when people say, oh, by the way, I saw something from Sim earlier. Sim, you were like, I don't know how I'd use the data because I'm just nosy. I look at it because I'm nosy, but I don't know how to use data. I feel like people don't know how to use data because they've never seen it, right? Like it's not like you don't understand how to manipulate data to make sense to you. You just never had data, so it feels like all I'll do is be nosy for a while. I think the moment you have it, reasons start to show themselves. Logic, like you start to logically realize, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Do you not agree? Maybe you don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you don't. You look at number go down. Worry. I think when people look at number go down and worry about it, it's because they don't understand the data. If you understand the data, you will know what number is worrying and what number isn't. You know, you'll know when to worry about number. Because like, when I look at the number go down, I realize, okay, this video maybe didn't do that good. Or this video did great. It just isn't a viral topic. I need to reconsider how I do it. Well, not 100%, because I look at my YouTube data and plus my website counter, but I guess because I've reverted back to a hobby, the only thing I care is because I'm curious to see the demos, but nothing past that. I mean, I think even if it's just a hobby, counting success is never a bad thing. Understanding what that looks like, not just beyond demographics. I think we're two different types of creators. The data is for people reaching a bigger base than me. I disagree, but I understand. I understand because I think a lot of people don't want to worry about the data because they're like, it's just me and having fun. I think the smaller you are, the more valuable the data becomes because that's how you make the moves to hit a bigger audience, right? Because like you're in a very vulnerable place where everything you do is makes your data volatile, and so I think when you're a smaller creator, having data is really important because like your audience size is so low that you can actually make the needle move reasonably, which allows you to know what is actually a good move and what's a bad move. Hey, Pantheon, because you know, I think about it from like, let me give an example. If PewDiePie or if Quentin Tarantino releases a film, right, he's gonna make blockbuster sales no matter what. No matter what, these people are gonna make numbers. They're gonna do super, super well, right? They'll always do super well. They can't fuck it up. They can't fuck it up. They can do way better, but they can never do so bad that it's a bad video. It will always be a reasonably high value piece of content. And so I think when you're that big, the data, you're right, the data can be a little bit meaningless. But when you're very small, one video can have 100 views, one video can have 0 views. You can figure out what the difference is. One comic can have 1,000 comments, one comic can have 2. And you can be like, oh, okay, I need to change something. I don't know, am I wrong? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm seeing something weird. I could be crazy and right. It's not that uncommon. I mean, okay, fair enough. If you know exactly who you're talking to, who exactly was reading, honestly, valid. That's valid. I almost, even if I know everyone watching my stuff, I try not to think about my audience as people when I'm doing data analysis. Is that weird? Like when I'm trying to figure out what my next move is, content-wise, I literally forget that they're people. Because people say they like things that they don't actually like. I just think of them as like a mass of ants. And that's how I can make decisions that I think make them happy. Or often seem to make them happy. Right? Because what I do essentially is, by removing the human element, I'm looking at their behavior rawly. Like just their raw behavior. I'm not looking at what they tell me. I'm not paying attention to what they wanted me to do. Just when I talked about eggs, they watch the video. When I talk about bread, they watch the video. When I talk about soda, they don't watch the video. Why? And that's what I do. And then, because when I would go up to each of them, they would be like, I love soda. Soda's awesome. Soda's delicious. I love that you talked about soda. But then you didn't watch the soda video. So what does that say? You don't love soda. You don't. You liked that I talked about soda, but you're not going to watch the soda video. That's what I think, at least. And so sometimes I do that when I look at my data. I forget them, and I'm just like, okay, I killed someone on this chapter. I saved someone on this chapter. Which one did you read? So I'm sifting the feedback from the data. Yeah, I actually often put the feedback separate. What I try to do is, this really cool thing. I'm going to say a billionaire's name and say he did a good thing, but I still think he is a garbage person. I want that to be clear. Anyway, there's a really cool thing Jeff Bezos said, which is when the anecdotes and the data don't match up, recheck your data, because the anecdotes are often never wrong. That's fair. But also one thing that's also important to recognize is that anecdotes don't give you the full story. Again, if people say they love soda and they like that I made a soda video, they probably did like that I made a soda video. The soda video is doing bad from the perspective of the things that I care about, probably because the soda video is good. It just isn't what gets me the same kind of audience, the same size of audience as eggs and bacon videos. That's it, right? And so when I look at, I look from a pure data perspective, I'm like, okay, they said all these nice things, and it's good to know that the video quality wasn't bad on that level. But the video didn't attract people because I talked about soda. That's the reason. They say they like soda, but they didn't watch the soda video. I shouldn't talk about soda anymore. Or I should talk about soda with other things so that I can get my soda people happy and get my eggs and bacon people happy. I got to do that. That's how I think about it. And that's worked for me in terms of just doing data work, because that's what I did when I did data analysis at a firm when I was starting out in one of my first internships. I did data analysis, and one of the things we were working on, we were trying to figure out why people kept stealing croissants. This isn't even a joke. We were trying to figure out why people kept stealing baked goods. So in the UK, in the grocery stores, baked goods aren't behind a thing. You can just go pick them up, put them in a bag, and walk out, right? And we have self-checkout. And so people were taking the food, going to self-checkout. They weren't logging that they took out a croissant or something. They weren't paying for the croissant at the self-checkout, and they were just walking out. And because it's just a loose item, it doesn't have a RFID tag, so it wouldn't trigger the security machine. So you just got to pick up the croissant and then pretend like you paid and then leave. People were just doing that. They were just doing it on our regs. So we're trying to figure out why they were doing that. And the thing that we realized was very simple. Two things. One, the way we made paying for baked goods work was bad. And the thing is, users would keep telling us this. They would keep saying, we love that when we pay for baked stuff, we have different prices for all the different items. Croissants have a different price from chocolate croissants, from almond croissants, all different prices. And so we can really make sure we're paying the right thing. And like, we love that we can select whatever we want. They liked it. That's what they said to us. And but we were like, okay, so users are saying now, but they're stealing our food. What does that mean? And then we tried something. We realized that what was happening is they liked it because it was granular, but enough of them were finding it confusing, but they didn't want to admit that because like they liked it, but it was a little bit much. So we just took it away. We just took it all away. We made all the croissants the same price, made all the like donuts the same price, and we put them on the donut section. And we all adjusted all the prices, and then we got a reduction in stealing by like 40%. Because people just didn't like, the people who were like not paying because I couldn't be asked, oh, it's a bad day. Oh, I don't want to deal. They just stopped doing it. Again, because most people don't want to commit crime. Most people don't want to do things that make them look bad. So like this, that's why that worked, right? But like that's just how that worked. People like things for lots of reasons, but those reasons aren't always true to how they're feeling in every moment, right? As well, that's like another thing. Like these people like the granularity. It was convenience. It was not morals. People are like, as a whole, humanity is a very moral group of people. Like most human beings are very good people. Whatever preconceptions you might have about people, I understand where they may come from, but just we've observed this ad nauseum. Humans are mostly good. So when people do bad things, when people do things you don't like, often it's because of reasons that are really stupid, like a lack of convenience. People torrent because it's convenient. They like, back in the 2010s, back in the 2000s, you would go to websites for torrenting. They would be fancy. They would have beautiful styling, clear labels, click button to download torrent. The torrenter would play music, like, torrenting used to be gorgeous. And then, Netflix showed up, and Netflix had this beautiful UI, and you just paid $5 a month, and you didn't have to like search anything. And then the torrent websites kind of reduced in quality, and they got uglier, and they weren't fast, and like you would get a torrent, and nobody was seeding it, so you couldn't download it. And then people just realized, I'm gonna go to the convenience of paying is just easier. Why not? Why steal when I can pay? Steam did the same thing. Like, when you give people a certain level of convenience, they change their behavior. But the point I'm just getting at is like the way you use the data, the way I use data is to essentially it's like in a trust but verify format. I trust people aren't lying when they say they like my video. Like my video, like the last video I made on sorry, I'm trying to open the thing. The last video I made on awards, this is my worst performing video in a while. Like, look, most of my videos have like 2,000 views or whatever. Even my last video that wasn't like, it was 500 views. This has 200 views. This is my worst performing video in a while. This is a 7, I think in my YouTube, it's a 7 of 10 video. Like it's over the time it's been going on, And all of you just told me you liked watching it. It gave you knowledge. You agreed with my arguments. You liked what I talked about. But like, it's not a popular topic. I gotta just realize it, right? It's not a popular topic. Traditional comic stuff isn't always very popular to talk about. I have to be aware of that when I make videos. Maybe next time when I make a video like this on a traditional, you expected more meat? That's fair. I think I should add more information. I wanted to make something short, so I think that's fine. But I will agree with you. I should probably add more stuff to that. But next time, I think I should maybe add more content to the video. Next time when I talk about stuff, I think maybe I should delve deeper into a topic. I should latch it on something a little bit closer to the webcomic world. These are the little things I should do, right? Everybody likes it, but there's things I could change. The data tells me that, everything tells me that. Maybe next time right after the ring goers are out. Yeah, that's actually perfect. People like longer videos nowadays. Very true. These are things to think about. Yeah, it's not a take that drives people away. That's the thing. It's not polarizing. That's the other thing. The thumbnail is a little bit aggressive if you're a webcomic person. A little bit aggressive. Because Lore Olympus is on the front page, which makes it look like I'm criticizing Lore Olympus. But I could have gone for something a little bit more aggressive, a little bit meaner, and maybe that'd get more clicks. Like the original title was like way more chill. It was like a question. If I was like meaner, I could have gotten more. And I think these are things to think about, right? I think when we dial back to the creator bit section of this, when we go back to being comic creators, and we're talking about the data that we get, and we're like, I just don't know if the data is going to be useful to me. I think I'm at that level. I think we need to start asking questions about like, hey, our audiences don't lie to us, but like, what can we learn from our data? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the better way to think about it. It's not the data is more right than the people. It's the data can teach us things that the people can't teach us, right? So when you look at data products like the data products that promise you more data, like bindings, for example, or like mine, I think there's like a certain level of like, I might learn something new here. Like a great one I remember is Paige Critchlow, who watches the streams, said that she ran her Kickstarter not long after the first version of my Webtoon data product came out. Paige ran her Kickstarter not long after that, right? And she used it to decide what countries to mail stuff to. She was like, I'm going to mail stuff to people who are in the countries that were in our country map. We don't have a country map anymore for a lot of complicated reasons, but we used to have a country map, and Paige was like, yeah, I'm going to mail it to people in the country map. And it saved her a bunch of money on shipping. It kept her Kickstarter like lean and mean, and everybody who signed up was happy. If you want to print a book, and you can see that your audience is like this is a great example. This is our views per episode. If you can see that from the views you started, I know rip country here. I'm going to try and get it back though, Radar. But if you can see that, like if you look at this comic from the person who's doing their work, this is my friend Jenny. She donated her comic to our studying and research for the project. Profile of Hades' nose stabbing comics. Okay, I think I should have tried that. I mean, look, Kylie, if you can make that thumbnail, I'll use it. But like, yeah, if we look at this comic, it started at 40,000 views, 39,000 views. The first chapter has gotten a lot of views over time. People have been reading it. And we can look at the latest chapter, which was published a few years ago. This comic hasn't had updates in a while. So this isn't the most accurate data. But we can see that in the newest chapters that are being published, it's got about 2,000 views. So over time, this comic's conversion is low. And it seems to all lower around here, around chapter 46, where people just weren't coming back. Like people weren't like trying to steadily come back and maintain attention like they were earlier in the comic. Right around here, people are still trying to show up every chapter, but right around here, people are showing up less. What could it be? What's happening? Why are people paying less attention? Well, I know why. Jenny's update schedule became weirder and wasn't as consistent, and so people started like falling off a little bit. And so that's one of the reasons that we can see that in the data. And when you go to the comments for these chapters, people are happy, people are loving the story, people are enjoying what's going on. But clearly that upload reduction had an effect. We can see that in the numbers. We can learn something about it. And I just think that that's something we need more of. Creators always say things to me like, "Oh, my comic people, like most of my viewers are dead viewers. Most of my subscribers are dead subscribers or something." They've said that to me before. They say stuff like that to me on all different platforms. And I don't know how true that is for some of them, because for some of them, they might just be paranoid as hell. One of the people who got the data app was like, "Oh, I am paranoid as hell. I have more viewers than I thought I did. People are reading most of my chapters. Knowing all the hearts is nice. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I get it. Like somebody said to me, like, oh, I am getting reads every chapter. I'm getting decent reads every chapter. It's not the same as chapter 1, but I didn't expect that. But people are showing up every upload. I just thought they weren't. It felt like they weren't, is what they were saying. Yeah, like when you get too sporadic, you remind people to unsub. I think sometimes they may be waiting or checked out, and if you can see that, if the data shows you that your audience is waiting for too long or checked out your comic, then maybe you should either change your upload schedule, and that doesn't mean making more work. It just means uploading more often. You can split one chapter into 4, or building hype around stuff, or what do you call it? Or changing your schedule completely and informing them of that and seeing if that changes the behavior. You know? I know a creator who just tells you the dates that the chapters are going to come out. And I think that's worked for them. They just said they DM, like in the chapter that they put out a chapter, and in that first chapter they go, the next chapter is going to come out on this date, and this date, and every time, and they never miss a date, and every single time they've made people happy to see it. Yeah, I think I still think about this in the people way, like how you mentioned about the schedule thing, seeing if that's more convenient for folks rather than like data. Yeah, like humans are like the people aren't useless. It's just remember that like the data is true. Most people won't tell you that they fucking hate you. They'll just stop coming to your parties. Like you know, that's where my mind's at. I feel like I rambled a bit much. I'm sorry. But hopefully I said something that was valuable. People don't stop coming to the cookout, right? They just stop telling you, they just stop calling you fam and cuz one day. And you realize that it's been a long time since they introduced you as their brother or their sister. And you're like, oh, it's like that. Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate you listening, hearing me out, and not letting me sound crazy. Sometimes I think I sound a little crazy. Back outside, but they still. Also, like one of the things that we found with the data is Webtoon actually has a dormant comic system. Webtoon has a system in the website that like when a comic hasn't been updated after a certain amount of time, it doesn't show it to people anymore. We know this is a fact. It has a system built in for dormant comics. No, not a hiatus feature. A dormant comics feature. If a comic isn't updating at a certain rate or updating often enough, and the rate, we don't know the rate yet. It could be every couple of months or something, right? But if your comic is dead, it hides it. Yeah, it hides it. It never recommends it. It never shows it. Like, it may not even come up in search sometimes. We've seen, like, one of that. Like if your canvas doesn't show it all, like, it's weird. We didn't realize it until, like, recently. Like, we knew that it was a thing, but, like, you know when you think something is happening to you, and the reason could be anything? Like, so when we first said it, when we first talked about it and as a team, what we were thinking was like, what's happening is Webtoon is just going to show you things that have likes, that have been recently liked. That's what we thought was happening. But no, it's actually just hiding the thing that isn't been updated. It's not the other way around, which is interesting. Like that's the way the information is looking, at least. Because if it was showing us more recently liked stuff, people would still come and read stuff like this that hasn't been updated in forever. But people aren't doing that, which tells us that people aren't seeing it, which tells us they're just not talking about it. They're kind of hiding its existence. I mean, yeah, but like content platforms, they hate completed comics. content platforms hate completed content. That's a general rule. One of my favorite pieces of completed content ever is this. This is my favorite channel. I'm gonna show you guys what I grew up on. But this is one of my favorite channels. This is Zay Frank. He's basically the father of vlogging. If you know, all YouTube vlogging basically started here. But like, he has this show that he did back in 2010-ish? 2010. Jesus. 2012. Fuck. It's been 12 years. Anyway, he has a show he did in 2012. And it's a completed series show. It's all done. It was done over like 2 years. He kickstarted it and it did great. And like, nobody watches this anymore. It doesn't get recommended anymore. Because it's completed. It helps me save face. Serializing over finished in web. I think in all online content platforms, serializing over finished is always better. Is what they do. Is the argument that complete comics don't drive the algorithm, for lack of a better word? Yeah, pretty much. They don't drive algorithms. They don't drive engagement. But it's not true. They do drive engagement. People do want to read completed stuff. But like providing this service costs engineering time, and nobody wants to do it. That's it. They have a priority, and you're not. And if you're a completed comic, you're not on that priority. Also, if you want to watch if you want something that's really gonna pick you up, watch this video, an invocation for beginnings. I watch this video basically once every couple of weeks. It's like a great video of have hair for years. Anyway, yeah, watch this video. It's a great video. Oh yeah, the one hidden video, yeah, in the playlist. Oh god, you gotta love it. I mean, that's why playlists are hilarious. One of the videos that's hidden, I think there was a big copyright claim, and Zay didn't want to fight it. This was back in 2012 when we didn't all understand copyright law. It's funny to realize that this man started BuzzFeed. Anyway, this guy is one of the founders of BuzzFeed, and he's the father of vlogging. I love him. It's Zay Frank. Like, he's one of the most OG of OGs. His first show was back in 2006, early YouTube. The videos are almost all lost now, but it was called like the Zay Frank Show or whatever. I think it was called The Show or That Show, something like that. And then he ran this show called A Show by Zay Frank, which is awesome, super awesome. He also sold a really cool poster that you can't buy anymore. I don't think. Oh yeah, he's selling other stuff now. That's really nice. Happy for you, Zay. Yeah, that's it. minor lore. You guys have lore now. Yeah. Does no one know these things? It's like when people don't realize that like one of the most prominent Nazis on the internet, and I do mean the word Nazi. One of the most prominent Nazis came from BuzzFeed. He was arrested on Jan 6th. It was crazy. Yeah, BuzzFeed made a lot of people's careers. BuzzFeed made a lot of people's careers. Let me get your take on that. I've always thought aggregate sites want the hobbyists to join, push a series on all the other social media, and then so the comic sites can aggressively market to them. Oh, I mean, yeah, they do, but it depends, right? Like, it depends on the stage you get to them, dead duck. Like, it depends on the stage you get to the platform. Okay, here's a good example of what I mean. Webtoon doesn't give a shit about that anymore. Webtoon doesn't care about that aspect of the relationship anymore. They used to back in the early days. It was a big part of the thing. They want you to join because it basically acts as marketing for their platform, and one and two, they want you to market because They want you to market because they want to encourage that behavior. When platforms are in an early stage, I have found that they care about that a lot more. They care about that a lot more. But when platforms finish, when platforms get to this stage, Webtoon's at an incredible stage where they don't care. Nothing matters. They make all the money. They do nothing, and they make all the money. They do everything. They make all the money. They can't lose money doing comics. When you're at a certain stage and size, you've gained the value that an individual creator marketing themselves brings is kind of gone. You know, you can survive without them. The content is all you care about. And so you stop caring about that aspect. You stop wanting to reward that aspect. Webtoon's done a great job of trying to reward that aspect still, because they know that their community is really important and community engagement is really important. But if you come early to a platform like Namikomi or Global Comics, platforms that are really, really early in their lifespan, right? They still care deeply about that aspect, because that aspect is the only way that they have relevance. That's it. Without that aspect, they have no relevance whatsoever. Because if you stop saying my comic is on this platform and this platform, right? Those platforms don't exist. If I started saying, like, here's an example. I upload my videos on Vimeo sometimes if it's a video I don't want to lose. But nobody says, oh, watch my video on Vimeo. No one really says that, right? No one does. And so for a lot of the world, Vimeo doesn't exist. I introduced a friend to the concept of Vimeo recently, and he's about the same age as me. He's never heard of Vimeo his whole life. The second biggest video platform in the world, doesn't know anything about it. The backbone of like most of the big new streaming giants that are coming from YouTube, Vimeo. Nobody knows anything about it. But then, this is the second half. We're talking about weird stuff. So, when the last time your name is uttered as a platform, is the last time you matter. And so when platforms are big enough to know that their name will be uttered no matter what, they don't care. They do advertise themselves. Global Comics doesn't seem to need creators. The way they've positioned themselves sometimes can come off like they don't need creators, and I think that's a thing that I don't know what to do about. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's it's about the audience that they're appealing to. But when you upload a bunch of publisher content, and like that's a big thing in your repertoire, that's a big thing that you market on. It kind of it can tell. I don't know. It conveys a message. I don't know if it's true to their genuine desire. But I don't know them. I don't really know them that well. So, depends. Wait, the stream is still on? Yes, Q, the stream is still on. I forgot that Vimeo exists. I forget that I have old college videos on there. Yeah, whenever I'm looking up ads, like if you want a cool thing, ad companies use Vimeo for their portfolios. So if you ever want to find an ad that was removed or discontinued for racism or whatever reason, it's usually on Vimeo. Usually under the name of the company. It's quite funny. And it's like on Vimeo because nobody goes there. When I was doing research for Zuda Comics, so if you guys have seen my video on Zuda Comics, this video on Zuda Comics here, why am I searching up racist ad? Because I think it's funny. If you've ever seen this video I made on Zuda Comics, the platform, the old platform, the old webcomic platform that DC used to have, there's like a moment where I show footage of people talking. You see these videos of people speaking about Zuda? These are all on Vimeo. These are all from Vimeo. I found almost every single one of them on Vimeo because I couldn't find them anywhere else. Oh, look, it's Neil Adams while he was still briefly medicated. Rest in pepperoni, my guy. This is before he started telling us that the Earth is a ball or whatever. No, not a ball. He started saying the Earth is like an inside out sphere, like we're on the inside of a sphere. Yeah. Vimeo was like so useful to my research. No. Like he said, he meant that we're inside the ball, not outside the ball. Like all the videos I got are from Vimeo. I love Vimeo. It's great for research. Whenever I'm looking for obscure shit that I know nobody's ever seen, I go on Vimeo. Yeah, their end game is probably not to sell, not be not the community soft sell. Yeah, I think that might be it. And I don't know. I don't know. The thing is, look, I think the thing with platforms that's important to remember as well is they change their focus very often. And so sometimes if you can get in at the right time when a focus change happens, you can ride a wave. You know, global comics might change. Oh my fucking Jesus Christ. Okay, fine. I'll use the thumbnail. Global comics might change their stance when they've made enough money from stance one. You know, the way Webtoon does, the way every platform does. They'll use a stance, they'll make all the money from that stance, they'll change stance. I don't know why they do it like this. I mean, I do know why. It's about getting enough money from the thing. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. It just never rubs me the right way. I'm just gonna save this image. I got sent the funniest thing. I'm gonna use it as a thumbnail. I'm using it. You guys want to see the funny image, and then I'll go eat dinner. And by eat dinner, I'm gonna eat crackers. Okay. I think it's funny as hell. I think it's cute. That's great. I mean, it's wonderful. I'm gonna use it in a video. Thank you for your service. Okay, crackers time. Crackers time indeed. Thank you everybody for coming to today's little thing. I appreciate your presence and I appreciate all your time. I should eat a meal. Your mom can eat a meal. Good night, everybody. Bless up. Bye.